It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
Yeah, hello, and you have made it to your weekend. Thank goodness, here we are. It is a nice little Friday at the KVJ Show. What up, Bird?
What up, Kev?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
Just, making sure this no-name movie game championship belt is nice and safe.
Yeah, you know who's coming for that today?
Denny's.
Yeah.
The sweet, quiet Denny's.
Yeah, who's quietly, just whenever he steps into this game, he just crushes it, and then he just bows right back out again. It's amazing what he does here.
It's a big match today.
It is. It is. You're right. I'm glad you recognize that.
Well, everyone's talking about it. I heard people over at Publix talking about it. Just customers in the aisle. They're going, do you know tomorrow's a no-name movie game with a Denny's?
It's got that kind of buzz around it, huh?
It does.
Yeah. Well, Denny's is stepping in because Virginia is putting in some good time learning how to do radio right.
I'm excited for this radio quiz you're going to give her when she gets back.
Well, I'm trying to see. I had my own little spies there yesterday and was trying to find out what was going on. So I'm not really positive what's happening and what she might be learning at this convention. In fact, I was asking her for some notes. She just said, Kev, they're not all typed up nice yet.
They're not typed up nicely.
Mama's been drinking a little bit since I've been here.
I'm going to do that on the plane.
Yeah, on the plane, maybe, Kev. I don't even know. Oh, no, I can't find my notes. Must have left him in a bar somewhere.
Remember that story you always tell when we were down in Miami? We're at some kind of a pool party.
Yes.
And there were all these important executives in the business.
Yeah.
And Virginia broke off away from our group and said, I got something I want to say to the head boss. And you saw her beelining.
She got all fired up about something that was going on. I can't remember. It might have been about contracts or something like that. And it was a big corporate event. This is when we worked for iHeartMedia. And, they're very large. They're the largest radio broadcast company basically in the world. And the head boss is there. The guy that started MTV back in 1981 is the head of this company. So this guy is a bigwig. In fact, he's referenced in the movie Michael. If you see when they're talking about getting MTV to play the song so that it breaks through Billie Jean and get Bob Pittman on the phone. This is the guy. So the guy's so big, he's referenced in the movie Michael.
He's the kind of guy you never meet in person. You only see in the work pamphlet.
Yes.
You never get any FaceTime with this person.
And the guy's amazing and he's super chill. I had the honor of getting to talk to him earlier in the day, and I could not believe just the swagger and cool this guy had. He dripped of just, I'm a pretty important dude.
But you felt like, all right, that went pretty good.
It did. I walked away saying, okay, he had good things to say about KVJ, and I felt like we were on the radar. I felt like everything we need to do was accomplished. We could walk away from this weekend saying it was a success. And he was in the VIP section, and I didn't have VIP access. I usually don't care about that stuff. I don't know how Virginia got VIP access.
I don't think she had it. I think she broke through.
We're at the Fontainebleau outside by the pool that is out there, and the VIP's up there, and they've got cabanas, and I'm down towards the pool, and I see Virginia. You can just tell by the look on her face. She's massively hammered.
Well, she sounded like Urkel from Family Matters, and that's when everyone knows we got to make sure our girl is protected and out of the public.
And she was in a mood. And she, I'm going to get to him. I'm like, no, calm down.
I already talked. Everything's good.
It's all good. We're fine. And so I'm on the other side of this. And all I see is Virginia somehow. I'm like, how's she in VIP? And I'm like, well, hopefully Bob's not there. I see Bob Pittman. I'm like, oh, no. And Virginia's beelining towards him. I'm like, no. And I'm trying to get her attention. I'm yelling at her husband. I'm like, you've got to stop this. Like, this cannot happen. This cannot happen. And somehow she got to him. And, oddly enough, our contract never got renewed. Come to think of it, that's kind of odd that everything did fall apart shortly thereafter with us working for iHeart. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
that just hit you right now.
It really just did. I was like, you know what? And remember that we had contract issues, couldn't get it renewed, couldn't figure out why, and
we were real close too.
Yeah, we were right on the cusp, and I thought everything was taken care of, and oddly enough, it didn't happen. So, and you're right. That was right after Virginia got to Bob Pittman.
I only asked that because I know there's radio industry people she's going to be around.
Yes.
And you're not going to be there. Does it make you nervous?
It does. And yesterday, our current programming head was texting back with him, and he sent me a text, and he had a photo of Virginia up on stage, and I'm like,
oh no. There wasn't a live mic, was there?
It was a live mic.
No.
Yeah, it was a live mic, and I'm just like, oh.
How did she get a live mic on this thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody gave her a live mic. And I saw it. I'm like, oh, okay. What's she doing? He's like, oh, it's the Battle of the Bits. She's up there sharing ideas. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh.
I was like, what exactly was the bit? And here you can see this is the photo. I'll show it on KVJ TV.
No.
But yeah, you can see. There's Virginia up on stage with a microphone.
Okay, y'all. There's this bit called "Name That Nut."
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. Like, is she gonna, and people would be going, that's what KVJ does, huh? I've heard good things about this show, but wow.
That picture should make you shudder.
Yes. So I was just like, oh, that's great. Is Virginia the host? What's going on? He's like, oh, no, it's the Battle of the Bits. And I said, oh, nice. Is she hosting or is she throwing out an idea? He said, no, serial superhero names is what she shared. And I was like, what was serial superhero names? Do you remember that?
Is she getting Captain Crust mixed up with cereal names?
I don't know.
Because I know she likes talking about Captain Crust and Princess Pepperoni, which are superhero names.
Yes.
But did she get that?
Now, these are bits that pretty much you share with the room that they could all take back and do on their shows.
I don't remember us doing that. And if we did, I'd like to forget about it.
Trust me, I was the whole yesterday. I'm like, what is this bit?
Siri?
Yeah, because, everybody kind of comments on the bits that everybody has.
Oh,
and when they get to the bar, I'll be like going, gosh, did you hear that idea? Or that was a great idea, or that sucked. And so that's all they talk about.
It's never a forgiving room.
No, it's not.
We learned that when we got fired at Cox Media, we had to do one of those things before where we played the bit in front of the entire company.
Right,
but
yeah, and we didn't see, and I honestly think we were set up for that because I didn't know we were playing a bit, and they got to choose the bit, and it was the bit that I didn't really want to share.
Well, it was a 2-part bit, and they only played part 2 of the bit.
Right, and
so
it
was basically the results of a headphone karaoke.
Yeah.
And it was embarrassing.
It just did not fly. Yeah,
that was a movie moment, by the way.
People were confused, and I was like, well, it's the beginning of the end here.
We got called out in front of everybody.
You're like, what was that bit? And I was just like, all right.
Yeah, you know what? I think I make the right move. I stay home for those conferences.
A lot of times it's good, yes. And I was kind of happy I was until I saw that. I'm like, well, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully she represented well, but I'm not even sure really what bit she shared. So
does the audience remember that? Does KVJ Nation remember us doing superhero cereal name? Is that what it was?
That was exactly that. So I'm trying to piece it all. You ever have those texts and you're just trying to put it all together, and all it said was Battle of the Bits, cereal superhero names, miss ya. That's about what I got.
Denny's just gave me the no, I don't remember that bit either face.
Right. So if Denny's and I, who do pretty much all the production on that stuff, and you, who's part of the creation of it, we're like, I'm not sure what idea Virginia shared to that very large room of radio people for KVJ's benefit.
It would have been amazing if she would have went all in on Name That Nut.
Oh my goodness. We don't know that she didn't. So
You're right.
We don't really know what's going on there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We got to get her home.
Oh man. Wow. Okay. Well, she's there today, and she'll be home this weekend. It pretty much wraps up on Saturday.
Well, hey, you had a good New York performance when you got your award.
Yeah. I thought that was good. That was fine. You had to get that.
Now, does everybody, I can't remember how that works. Does everybody have to present an idea, or
it's just an idea you feel really strong about.
So she was feeling it.
She was feeling this
and
bit.
Got on stage.
She's like, this is strong. Everybody needs to know this bit. You all want to do this.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I'm just like, okay, it needs to be a home run kind of bit. And then when he shared the title of it, I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about.
I'm going to predict how this goes. She's going to come back on Monday. We're going to ask her about this bit. She's not going to know what you're talking about. She's going to say, I never did that bit. That guy's a jerk. She's going to turn it on.
I hope she doesn't say that, because that is our head of programming. I hope she does not say that. Yeah.
My bad. I can't tell. I can't see this in the picture.
That wouldn't be a good thing at all. So we'll see. So, yeah. So that's where Virginia is. She is feeling herself. I did get some of the videos, Denny's. I don't know if you can share that one. Do you have the one that she had where she actually fell off of? Was she on was she on a tractor on that one, or was that on the horse? She was getting on a lot of objects on Wednesday night, and as she tried to dismount from one of them, you could tell she had a pretty solid Virginia drunk face on. She tumbled off of it, and she hit really hard and kind of gave you actually an underwear crotch shot.
Well, take it from me. You want to protect that hip. She landed right on that thing.
Yes, she did. Girl can still take a tumble. So she went down hard on that. I'll have Denny share that with you. You can check out that video. We'll get that lined up as well. What you got to do is you just got to go to YouTube to get all this kind of stuff. There's so many visuals today that you got to check. So go to YouTube, look for the KVJ Show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the like. And there you can see the video of Virginia falling. I think I was the tractor. So she was trying to get out the tractor, and down she goes, baby.
Oh, that's a hard hit.
It was a really hard hit. Well, really hard hit.
Mama's going to need some ice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I imagine Monday might be, okay, I don't know. Cleveland's a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, I knew she was going to take over Cleveland. Oh, yeah. I felt bad for Cleveland.
Yeah, she was going for it. So, yeah, we'll have some stories from her coming up on Monday.
Look at that picture.
That's her sitting on the tractor. You can see that face right there. Yeah, that was right before the fall. You can see she's got a big old fat cocktail there and a cup. And, yeah, she brought out the cleavage, too.
Her boobs are hanging out.
Seriously, like, it's pretty insane the amount of cleavage that she has in that shot. So I'm sure a lot of the guys would be like, Denny's got to zoom back out.
I know Denny's is zooming into me.
He went into the face, but and you can see she's got the white girl overbite. Whenever Virginia's top row of teeth is biting down her bottom lip, she's hammered. Oh, and her eyes are almost closed.
There is no way in hell she does not sound like Urkel right there. I do the my tractor. I don't want to die, Kev.
Where's Bob Pittman?
I got something to say.
Oh, boy. That's our girl. Well, Jbird, I'm glad to see that you're back out and getting active again. It was very impressive to see the video that you posted last week of doing a little miming, because you went down to the ground, hit, bounced right back up. Now, you didn't take the same kind of fall that Virginia did off a tractor while drunk, but it was still pretty impressive to see you with that replaced hip, that you were moving as well as you were.
Yeah, my doctor said my next appointment's not for another 5 years. I can do anything I could do before. Obviously, I don't want to get tackled by 30 football players. But, I even asked him, I said, if I was to take a nasty spill on accident, am I still going to be okay? And he said, yes, you will be.
Wow, okay.
So I'm looking into getting a biking.
Okay.
I've been doing some more exercising. It feels good to exercise.
Yes, it does. It really, there is something about just going out and moving your body. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I think a lot of times people get lost in what exercise is, and they think it's a painful, nasty thing. But just going out, walking, moving your body, getting in sunlight, that's all great for you.
Well, you saw me. I was at a point where I wasn't really even walking well. Just walking to the car was a major challenge, and doing regular things, because I had some other issues going on with my body that I've now also fixed, but they were all kind of working against each other. And it really did. It broke your body down. The one thing I learned, it broke the mind down the most.
Sure. It's all tied.
It really is, because you're not sleeping. You're frustrated. I underestimated the hip. I thought I was going to be up and running and doing everything normal within a month, and that's just not the case for everybody.
Yeah, no, it's not. But sounds like you're up. You're playing tennis.
Yes.
And things are going well. You were on the court, I believe, here recently.
I was playing tennis with a man who knows my father. 76 years old, this guy.
Oh, my gosh.
He beat my ass within in 20 minutes of playing tennis. Dog, your boy is out of shape.
A 76-year-old just destroyed you in tennis.
He whomped me. He taught this little youngster a lesson on, but you know what? It's cool to see an old dude dominate. I did like seeing that.
It's better when they're not dominating you.
This guy was good.
Yeah. You know, he's probably been playing a long time.
Yes, he's been playing his whole life, and he made mincemeat out of me. But it was good to get, you know, the muscles moving. That's the highest impact sport I've pretty much done since my old surgery. But yeah, I can ride bikes, do all that stuff, and
no pain. You don't feel sore terribly the next day.
There's soreness, but I think the soreness is coming from other parts of my body just because I hadn't been using them as much. You know, when you're out of shape and you start to work out and your body is just sore. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So I just gotta give myself just a little bit of time and patience, and not expect to, you know, be 100% overnight. And I think that's sometimes my mentality, and I have to get out of that mind frame.
Yeah, no, you're right. Baby steps. That's really what it's all about. So that's good to see that.
Also, having the lettuce disease right after surgery did not help.
So is your big goal in life now to destroy a 76-year-old in tennis?
That's my goal. He's on my radar, and he will not go down until I take Cocoon out.
You know, we all got to have goals.
Oh, yeah. It's just nice to be active again. Yeah. You take for granted little things, man.
No, you're right.
Just like tying your shoe. To be able to tie my shoe without any help, it's such a win for me.
It's big news.
It is.
It's big news. Well, good luck. I hope you can get that guy. Then he said he was scared to actually take a shower today because of the rain and the conversation that we had yesterday about people being struck by lightning.
The fears on this show are getting pretty lame. He's afraid of showers. I'm afraid of lettuce.
It's just a scary world out there.
It is.
Well, that's what we're scared of. But we heard this email that came in from Angeli, a KVJ Nationer, who was talking about being struck by lightning in your house. She says, I was struck sitting on my bed in my bedroom, putting on my shoes just to go to work. She said the lightning hit the ground right outside my window in the wooded area, bounced off the ground, and then through the window, and then struck me. I know that's what happened because the picture frame hanging above the window flew off the wall, and even one of those old CD towers we all seem to have growing up got knocked over. I was completely shaken. I jumped up, I ran out of the room, and immediately noticed it tasted like I had pennies in my mouth. When I left 5 to 10 minutes later to go to work, the wooded area outside the window was on fire in a small spot.
You went to work?
I know. That's amazing, isn't it? I would think if you get struck by lightning inside your house, you should get a day off.
If there's ever a day.
Right. I mean, that's impressive. She said at that point, I called the fire department. I later mentioned the metallic taste to my healthcare provider, and she told me that tasting metal or the taste like you have pennies in your mouth is a very common symptom of people who have been struck by lightning.
I'm pretty sure that's what our old producer, Mariana, said. She said it tasted like metal in her mouth or pennies, some kind of a...
Yeah, I have heard that before as well. But that's absolutely insane to think that you're sitting on your bed, putting on your shoes, getting ready to go to work, and bam, it gets you right there.
That's Mother Nature not playing it cool. That's not hashtag being cool, Mother Nature. You're in your house, man.
So where do you go with that? Because she said maybe I should have played the lottery. Now, when you have something like that happen, I guess there's two ways to look at it. You're like, okay, God is on my side and I'm still here. Or you're saying God is after me and I need to go hide. I don't know what I did.
Play the lottery? I think you might want to go to church and start praying.
Right. That was her closing line in the email was, yeah, I thought maybe I should have just gone and played the lottery. I was like, I don't know about that.
Play the lottery.
When you get struck by lightning sitting on your bed in your house, to me, that's the opposite of luck.
You know, a ladybug didn't land on you. Lightning tried to strike and kill you. That's not lucky.
Yeah, I'm going to go play the lottery. I'm like, if you want, I guess, but I don't know if you're looking at the omens of the universe. I don't get the omens of the universe. Maybe I'm wrong.
Walk underneath a ladder while you're at it.
That was her thought. I'm going to go play the lottery. That's crazy. Somebody else said, yeah, my friend's husband was struck by lightning in their kitchen, and the fork he was holding flew across the room at warp speed, and it ruined their computer and garage door opener.
So it kind of feels as if lightning is around, and it's the first thing that it is attracted to that gets you, and it could be anything.
Well, it's interesting. That guy was holding a fork, which it sounds like he's basically got a mini lightning rod in his hand.
But you would think, okay, the guy's holding a fork in his house. How many other pieces of metal are around that the lightning could have struck? Why did it go for the fork and not something else that was bigger?
Yeah.
A fork inside the house?
Right, yeah. I don't know. I can't explain those kind of things. I don't know enough about the physics of it to understand it.
Does he have something in his body when, like, as a, I don't know, a conductor of sorts where he's holding it and the lightning's attracted to him holding the metal?
Great questions. Don't know the answers to them.
I'm just thinking out loud. I know you don't have the answers.
Yeah, it's a crazy little world. It just goes to show you, you got to respect that lightning. And when you think you're hidden, might be a good idea to stay away from your windows if there's a severe lightning storm going on.
It just shows you never know when your car is going to be called.
You're right.
Eat a pizza.
You're right. I was just so amused by that last line, though. I got struck by lightning. You know, I need to go play the lottery, huh?
Yeah, and you went to work? Wait, I think you did it all wrong.
Okay, well, maybe other people get it, because early on I'm asking people on KVJ TV on YouTube, if you get struck by lightning, is your first intention then to go play the lottery? And almost, 67% of people right now say that, yes, they are going to go play the lottery. I guess they feel like they survived it. So if that happened to me and that couldn't take me out, then luck is on my side. I'm meant to be here for something. Maybe the reason why I'm meant to be here is to win all this wealth in the lottery.
Plus, getting struck by lightning, it's a, once in a lifetime kind of a thing. So maybe you're riding that once in a lifetime kind of mojo you're feeling. Going,
maybe,
all right, I got struck by lightning. Let's see if it worked for the lottery.
Or maybe it's God trying to get your attention. Be like, hey, man, wake up. Today is a big day for you, and I'm going to wake you up with this lightning bolt that's not going to kill you. It's just going to taste like you ate a bag of pennies, and then you need to go out and take real pennies and buy a lottery ticket.
See, I would so get a different message from God if he did that to me. I would take that as, Bird, clean up your act. You're a sinner. What are you doing with your life?
I think I would probably actually go to church before I would go to Wawa to buy a ticket.
I don't think God's telling me to go gamble.
Yeah. Okay. That's coming down to about a 50-50. It's 58-42, but still, majority of people. Just go show you, man, people freaking love the lottery.
They do.
They really do. And if you do, you're going to love this weekend, because tomorrow night, the drawing for Powerball is now up to $856 million. That's a $372 million cash value. Now, the current jackpot is the largest since the $1.8 billion prize. It was claimed in Arkansas on Christmas Eve of 2025, the second largest in Powerball history. The last time they had a winner was May 2nd of 2026.
14,
you're feeling it.
Number 14 is right on Ralston's shoulders.
14, huh?
Just doing a dance.
That's odd, because that's the reversal of what you said the other day when you picked 41.
Huh. A sign, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of signs going on here. We'll see. There's a really good chance that the reason why you go to this very popular restaurant is because of what they put on the table before you even get your meal. There are videos all over social media, people going to Texas Roadhouse and digging right into that honey cinnamon spread that they've got there. Oh my goodness, it looks so amazing. They got those rolls that go with it. They're all buttered up, and in the videos you can see people that are putting big old holes in that roll, and then they're just putting that butter right down in there and just letting it all melt together.
I can't eat that butter without even the bread. That's how good it is.
Oh, it's fantastic.
You look like an animal, and people think you're a monster, but it's still, I don't care. It's delicious.
Well, amongst all those videos of people enjoying that delicious honey cinnamon spread at Texas Roadhouse, there's this very ominous video about what you're really eating.
The honey butter for the bread doesn't actually contain any butter. You're not going to believe what's in here. When you sit down at Texas Roadhouse, you get these amazing dinner rolls and this whipped butter that looks really great. It's a honey butter, but it's actually not any butter. It's whipped soybean oil and honey. That's what's in here. That's about the worst thing you could possibly put on your bread at Texas Roadhouse. And they don't tell you this. This is a steakhouse, so I wish there were good food here. But if you don't ask for a plain steak with just salt, they're going to season your steak with seed oils and MSG.
It's one of those things I hear getting demonized so much is seed oils.
Also, do we have to really make that horrific droning sound effect
was very
to
intense,
make it
wasn't it?
seem like you're eating a bomb? Good gosh. It's not butter. Boom. And you know what, buddy? I don't care. It tastes amazing.
Yeah, I guess it depends upon what you're doing. And if you're really watching your health, you may not be eating honey butter anyway at Texas Roadhouse, so it might not be an issue for you. But they say the seed oils, anything like your soybean oil, your palm oil, all that kind of stuff. In fact, you get in that margarine-style blend of the honey butter. It is whipped soybean and palm oil, artificial butter flavor, buttermilk, honey, and cinnamon. That's what makes up that delicious concoction.
Is anyone that shocked? I'm not shocked.
No, I mean, honestly.
Roadhouse doesn't make it the right way. Oh, my gosh. Pass it on.
Look, when you eat something like that, you got to say to yourself, I mean, all right, what am I really putting in my body?
I'm not going to a Roadhouse Texas steak restaurant to eat healthy.
Yeah.
I'm not there for health.
Look, I get it. I've had it before. I know how good it is. But yeah, if I sit down, I'd be like, I'm trying to refrain from that because I realize it's probably not good stuff.
And, don't you have to eat a ton of this stuff on the reg on a daily basis for it really to affect you? If you go to Roadhouse every 3 years and have the butter, I think you're going to be fine.
They say, yeah, in small amounts. If this is your one cheat and you do it very rarely, it's not going to have big consequences to your health. But if you're eating it a lot and you just say, this is just part of my regular diet, it's a part of the ultra-processed food family. And, when you have obesity and insulin resistance, fatty liver disease, chronic inflammation, those kind of things, that comes from your seed oils.
You're missing the drone. Death.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's just all that kind of stuff. We're demonizing everything. And look, a lot of times when you go to restaurants and you eat out, that's unfortunately, you just don't know how the food's created, what they put in it. That's one of the dangers about going to some of these restaurants.
I'm going to start demonizing everybody who's demonizing stuff. How about that?
Stop shaming me.
There's a mind game.
Yeah. Well, they are kind of looking into everything that's going on. In fact, I just saw for kids, they say 81% of products aimed at kids 6 to 36 months old counted as ultra-processed. And almost half missed at least one nutrition guideline. They say some of the worst things that you're feeding your kids is fruit pouches and the mac and cheese. They say those are two of the worst ultra-processed foods that are going on, and that's why they're seeing a rise in the diabetic rate and obesity rate of younger kids.
Had mac and cheese twice this week. I'm not even kidding.
You know what? You need to go get some honey butter for lunch then. Just round it all out, baby.
I went to the doctor. They were like, hey, you're looking good, kid.
Yeah, that's good enough for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because there is this push that you have where they want to get all the artificial colors and additives and seed oils and all this ultra-processed food. But how's it going to do with sales after it's done? And I saw that Kellogg, who has been demonized for a lot of the ultra-processed things they have in their foods and the artificial dyes and whatnot, they've announced that they're going to be eliminating artificial colors and BHT from all of their cereals by the end of this year.
Have they already started? Because I had some Kellogg's the other day, and it was whack.
Yes.
It did not taste good.
Right.
I go, where is my sugar?
Yes, that's kind of it. You're noticing already, and it's not even necessarily some of that stuff you're not eating is even sugar itself. It was the high fructose corn syrup. It's basically a manufactured synthetic sugar that is amazingly sweet. And that's the stuff that you get addicted to. You have it in your body. The pleasure centers are going through the roof. And you're like, oh my gosh, I got to have this again. And it's only that sweet nectar you can get.
I had that Kellogg's, the ones that's got that like cut up dried strawberries in it. And it makes you think you're going to lose weight. They even have the measuring stick on there. You're going to lose 2 pounds if you eat this. So I've been eating that. I mean, I've been eating that cereal forever because that's my health cereal.
Yeah.
Man, that stuff tastes like cardboard now.
Yeah, Yeah, I wonder what it is going to do. Because, look, you've grown up since you were a kid. And kids today, are we talking about a new generation's just going to get used to these cereals now that are not as bright, not as sugary, not as sweet, that don't seem to pop, and they're going to just get used to it and they're going to like it? Because what Kellogg says they're going to be doing is they're going to be using natural colors from fruits, vegetables, and plants. Almost like some kind of organic cereal they're going to be doing. And they had that before. And I remember the first time I tried organic coming right off of the regularly sugary cereal stuff. I was like, whoa, what a crazy difference.
Dude, I used to have a Fruity Pebbles problem to the point where I could easily eat an entire family-style box within an episode of a 30-minute show. Now, it doesn't taste as sweet. The crunch isn't as crunchier. Fred doesn't Flintstone as hard. It's different.
Yeah.
It's not the same, baby. My palate didn't change. Fruity Pebbles, you did.
So how do you want your cereal if you could keep it? Does this draw you to it, knowing that they're going to be eliminating the artificial colors and the BHT, whatever that is?
No, because the way I look at it, there are times where I'm going on health runs, and there are times where I want to feel like a bad girl. And don't take away my bad girl snacks. If I want to be a bad girl one night, let me go ahead and be a little freaky with my Fruity Pebbles, and I want them to taste in the bad way. I don't want to roll up to a fast food restaurant. Oh, give me the salad. I want the healthy options. I'm there to be bad.
Yeah.
I want to be bad.
Yep.
There's other times where I want to be good.
I asked our KVJ TV audience, I said, how do you really want your cereal? And right now, about 70% are saying, just give me the old school process,
Thank
baby.
you.
I want it that way.
If you're a healthy person, you just don't buy it.
Yeah. Jbird brought in a TikTok video where the honey butter at Texas Roadhouse was under attack for how it was processed. Soybean oil with a bunch of other things kind of thrown in there, and it's not really what you thought it might be. In fact, it's got butter flavoring, not even real butter in it at all. So would they take it away? It doesn't sound like a lot of people want that, because I think a lot of people, they don't even care what it is. They love the taste, however you made it. Yeah, it could be taking years off my life, but give me that honey butter, baby. Sometimes things get pulled away from restaurants and you don't know why. They seem like they're very popular, and then they play these games with you. Do you have a menu item that you loved that has been discontinued from a restaurant that's still open? They didn't close down. That's the question. It's a menu item that you loved it, but for whatever reason they discontinued it. And a lot of people complain about this. Every now and then they do bring them back.
For me personally, the one that always gets me right in my feels is Wendy's, the taco bar they used to have. I loved it. It was the reason why I went to Wendy's. It was right in the middle of the store.
Yep.
You could get a burger, then you could take that cheese sauce, smother it with the cheese sauce. You could do so much with it. I mean, that's one that really, really does hurt.
That's one of the top items that are mentioned. The Wendy's Super Bar.
Super Bar.
Yeah, with all you could eat taco, pasta, salad buffet, all that kind of stuff. They said they got rid of it because it was too expensive and labor intensive to maintain.
Also, too, it's a burger joint, and a taco bar didn't really make sense.
It's true, yeah. But they've had a lot of things like that. Another item that people love from Wendy's. Do you remember their fresh stuffed pitas? They had these healthy pita sandwiches that they introduced in 1997, but they only lasted to 2000.
That does not ring a bell.
Okay. They were in and out in 3 years, so that's probably why.
Burger King used to have these small bundle burgers they don't have anymore, and they were good, and they took them off the menu, and I'd like to see them come back.
They've got some items. Do you remember their Cine Minis?
Yes, they were good.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, they had a brief return back in 2018, but they've been gone for a couple decades now. But people love that. I don't know why those disappeared. They also had the Shake 'em Up fries. Do you remember those?
I do.
They were a DIY cheese-coated fry, and they say they got rid of them because they just never really seemed to catch on.
They had the Whopperito. It was a Whopper burrito style.
Oh, okay.
That didn't last long.
They had a couple ones. Yeah, the Whopperito they're talking about. They said Burger King also had fire-grilled ribs. I don't remember that.
I missed that one.
They had the BK dinner baskets and the BK enormous omelet sandwich.
I remember that thing was massive.
Yeah.
If you wanted to eat breakfast and then have no productivity for the rest of the day, you ate one of those babies.
It looks like McDonald's is leading when it comes to discontinued items that people love. The McDLT is up there. That was the hot cold that they had, the lettuce and tomato on one side.
Never a big fan of that one.
It wasn't impressive enough. The McSalad shakers that they used to have, people were missing those. The McPizza.
Yes, I remember the McPizza, and I remember the McHot dog.
They said they got rid of the McPizza because it took 16 minutes to prepare.
Well, guys, we got to figure out a better way here.
They do have it still in Orlando at that location, though. And the Arch Deluxe.
That's the one I couldn't think of. Mm-hmm. That was supposed to be the next Big Mac. They were trying to pawn that off as the next Big Mac sandwich.
Okay.
And it did not go anywhere.
Taco Bell's had a lot, too, that they've had. And they do a pretty good job of rotating their stuff in and out. But one that still is gone, I guess, is the Taco Bell Waffle Taco. It was a sweet and savory breakfast item introduced in 2014 and didn't make it too long.
Taco Bell is a little too busy. They're kind of like that person you're dating that just cannot ever keep their thoughts together. And we're going to go here. No, we're going there. Taco Bell, just give me some consistency.
Right.
Don't take things off and then bring them back. You're playing too many mind games, Taco Bell.
It's kind of wild. It is kind of wild. And then we got Jen who said the Tex-Mex egg rolls from Ale House. Miss those. They were fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Ale House used to be my cut. I would go there. I would get the chicken zinger sandwich, which was amazing. Or you could get the loaded chicken zingers.
Okay.
Barbecue style. I don't know if they still have that there at the Ale House. Last time I went, I ended up getting a $10 pint of their Captain Jack's Berry Treasure ice cream.
Ooh.
Just a little pint. 10 bones, though.
Wow.
And it doesn't really taste like the Captain Jack's. It was good ice cream, but it didn't taste like Captain Jack's.
So the Captain Jack's is a lot more expensive and a lot bigger?
The Captain Jack's dessert tastes better. I'm not sure about the price. You can leave the Ale House and get a Captain Jack's ice cream pint, but I will say I don't personally think it tastes like the regular Captain Jack's.
Is it worth $10 though?
No.
Okay.
It's good. It's not worth $10 though.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
This Dirt of the Day is brought to you by my favorite closet people, closetsbydesign.com.
Well, Virginia is tearing up Cleveland, having a good old time at a radio convention. So just the boys here today. She'll be back with us on Monday. And yesterday on the After the Show, we had a pretty in-depth conversation about Perez Hilton and what might be behind the mental health struggles he had had. It looked like an attempted suicide that had happened during a live stream in his home where he's covered in blood in Miami. And he has been hospitalized, and now his family is saying that the 48-year-old celebrity blogger is able to communicate after he was hospitalized. They say that he is just looking for continued prayers, understanding, and grace as he recovers. I think those words are kind of key because he had been working out, trying to get into his faith, do all these things and change it up, but apparently it was not going in the right direction. And they say the weeks before the mental health crisis that happened at his home in Miami, Perez Hilton had begun reaching out to different celebrities that he had harshly covered over the years, trying to apologize and make amends. And it sounds like maybe this stuff is starting to kind of wear on him.
I think that's what happens when you get to a certain point of life. If you want to change and you realize you haven't been nice to people, it hits you like a ton of bricks.
It really is. I think him trying to reconcile with his past and what he has done, he's realizing I overstepped my boundaries many times, probably to get engagement and to do what I do. And I realized that wasn't the right move. Now that he's almost 50 and a little bit more mature.
Well, people turned on him as well. So he got it right back. All the mean stuff he did to people, people started doing it to him, and he really fell off. Remember how popular he was?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
But, you know, he made his empire on being very nasty.
apparently he's already reached out to Britney Spears, Khloe Kardashian. He has gone on to them. Now, apparently the Kardashians responded kindly, but apparently his message to Britney Spears was passed along through a third party and no word on that. Now, on a podcast recorded before his hospitalization, Perez Hilton had reflected that he had realized he didn't need to be cruel or mock people's bodies and appearance to be successful or funny. He called his past approach something he wanted to make amends for. And that apparently is what led up to the night of August 4th, where he was hospitalized.
So you being a religious man, someone like a Perez Hilton, who made it, so much money on being negative and mean and really tearing people's spirits down. How do you go about forgiving someone like that, especially when they are saying, I was wrong, I feel bad, I want to atone?
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of people who say you'll never be able to be forgiven. You should die feeling terrible. What do you say to those people who have that mind frame of going, he doesn't deserve forgiveness, he should die a miserable person for what he's done?
Well, I think we all deserve forgiveness is my personal take on it. We talked about this yesterday on the After the Show. I think a lot of times forgiving somebody is actually an act for yourself because you release that negative energy, and I think it's a good thing to do. But there is still accountability, and that's a big part of it. And he has done some things that, it doesn't mean you're completely let off the hook because you give somebody forgiveness, because there still might be a payment that needs to be made to have justice be served. And there's boundaries that still need to be set. And there are some people who's kind of reminding you the kind of stuff that he used to do. 30-year-old Ireland Baldwin, Alex's daughter, took to her Instagram story to share her complicated feelings over what was going on with Perez Hilton. She said, look, for years, he treated my family as well as countless other celebrities terribly. She wrote, Perez Hilton has publicly humiliated my family for years, sexualized me from a young age, commented on my weight and body as a child, made unforgivable comments about people in my family, drew bodily fluids coming out of my mom's and friends' mouths, and has always been a despicable human being. But his children deserve better and a healthy father, and I am so sad for all of them. I hope he gets the help he needs and heals, which that seems good. She wishes him well, but it's still, hey, man, yeah, you did some really terrible things.
And that's just it, too. Sometimes people won't forgive you. And that's what happens in life sometimes. When you do a certain type of thing or act a certain way, there is a chance someone's not going to forgive you for what you've done. And that's part of the game.
And you don't do it necessarily to get forgiveness. You do it because rectifying the situation, at least addressing that you were wrong, is the right thing to do.
Yeah, because I do think people in life have done things, and then when they mature, they do feel bad. They go, what was I thinking, or why would I say that or do that? And they really do feel bad about something. Now, do you reach out to that person and say you're sorry, or is that still making it about yourself, or do you just let the water go under the bridge?
He seems to have done it the right way. If he was reaching out on his blog trying to apologize, then you can see through that he's just trying to do it to get attention. It sounded like he tried to do it quietly and even through third parties to give out the apology. So it sounded like Perez Hilton was handling it the right way. But Taylor Momsen and some footage has surfaced of when she went on Call Her Daddy and was talking about him and what he used to do to her. Now, keep in mind, she was Cindy Lou Who back in the Grinch movie. So that goes way back. And then she's been in a group, The Pretty Reckless, for quite a while. And she was talking a bit about how Perez Hilton used to handle, and particularly this one story that he had done about her.
I'm playing a show. I'm wearing a little dress. I have underwear on. But a photographer goes and shoots up my skirt. He kneels down, shoots up my dress, and my tampon string had slipped out. And so my tampon string was sticking out of my underwear. Perez Hilton puts that on the home page of Perez Hilton. I'm underage. And the violation, and his headline, I don't remember what it said, but the headline was very negative of like slut. Look how trashy Taylor is, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I think Perez Hilton, he needs to stand in the paint. He needs to, he needs to take all these things that he has done and said and be like, yeah, that was terrible. I'm sorry I did that.
It's a cautionary tale about treating people.
It is, yes, because there does typically come a point in your life, hopefully at least, you realize, man, I really feel terrible that I did all that kind of stuff.
My question always is, when someone does come to that realization, do they go to the urn or the grave as damaged goods, or do they deserve forgiveness? And that's always the question.
Yeah, and I always believe everybody deserves forgiveness. I do. I think that is the way to handle it, but everybody's going to have their own take on that and their own opinions on it. Well, this is a documentary that they say both Peacock and Netflix are reportedly racing to release. They really want to get something out about Wendy Williams. And it sounds like it might be looking a little bit more at the drinking that she had that maybe caused a lot of the problems that have been going on. Now, they want to get her involved with it so they don't have to just use clips. And I think that's where they're trying to get that okay from Wendy. And they don't even know because of her health. I don't know exactly what kind of level she's at right now. But her attorney has disputed that her frontotemporal dementia, which probably has been brought on by past alcohol abuse, has been what's causing the cognitive issues. And apparently she's cleaned that up a bit. And so her and her ex-husband are both legally challenging her court-appointed guardianship. They did have that Where is Wendy Williams that came out on Lifetime in 2024, but they're hoping to do a couple more. She's going to be a hot topic that they're trying to do. And you still watch Big Brother?
Not anymore. It got too soft and got too lame. People got mad when people lied and cheated during the game, which is half of the game anyway.
Yeah, well, they're trying to do some things to get attention. So what they're doing right now to try to bring people back in is they've got one of the housemates peeing in the shower, and everybody's all upset about that.
Man, that is they have fallen off. That's the big drama?
That's what they got going on there. Yeah. Yeah, Lyric Medeiros admitted on the live feeds to urinating in the house shower every single time. And he said, I don't feel bad about it, not even one little bit.
I'm not even kidding you. I've never seen a show go from so awesome to so fragile in a matter of a season.
Fell off, huh?
Oh, my gosh.
Mm-hmm. And that is your dirt of the day. Jbird is on an unbelievable tear. A 2-game win streak, going for 3, something he's never done. But today, stepping in for Virginia, the reigning and current leader in the No Name Movie Game for the year is producer Denny, who has stepped in one time and has 1 win. Could he end Jbird's magnificent run right here today?
Yeah, I was at the grocery store and I heard people talking about the No Name Movie Game, and I guess people have dubbed Denny's the Prodigy now.
Oh, wow, they should.
Because he's 1 for 1.
Yep.
I know we used to call Suits the Prodigy, but you've now taken that name.
Well,
everyone's talking about it.
Okay. At the deli.
Yeah.
Just kind of hanging out doing that stuff. Well, as it stands on the year, Virginia's in the lead with 13. I got 8. Bird with 4. Now Denny's with 1. Thank you, Stat Girl Whitney, for getting that through to us. All right, we're going to start off here. Denny's will get to go first, and we'll partner him up with Bill. What up, Bill?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing great. How you doing today?
Not bad at all.
Okay, well, you've got Peace Train here giving you clues to movies. You cannot use any of the characters' names, any of the actors' names, or any of the words from the title of the movie, okay?
All right.
60 seconds on the clock in the No Name Movie Game. Your time begins now.
This is, it's goofy comics that were in the newspaper. It was a term for those. It was an old-timey term.
Newsies?
If it's, pass that one. This is, they're 2 dudes. They go back in time to pass a history exam. Through it.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Perfect. This is, if you eat something that is contaminated, possibly lettuce being contaminated, this is the thing that lives inside it, and it feeds off your body.
A virus?
It's a
parasite.
Yep. This is, past that one. He looks like a clown, and he wants to watch the world burn. He's a bad guy.
Joker.
Yep. This is it's on the corner of a inlet, and it allows ships to see land if they're in the distance. It rotates.
A lighthouse.
Yep. This is a if you're married and
Whoa, someone came to play.
what did I get? What did I get?
You got a 4.
Oh, 4 spot.
Okay.
Good job, Bill.
It's very competitive.
Wow.
It's very competitive. Okay. It is beatable, but it is going to be hard to beat.
I don't know. I see the tiger.
If you win this round, everyone's going to be talking.
Yeah, they'll be talking.
It'll be
about
something.
all the grocery stores.
All right, Katie, ain't nobody talking about this team right here. That's why we got to step up and do something, Katie.
Oh, yes, we will.
Okay.
I won the last time I played.
You okay, Katie? All right, I like that energy. Let's get another win for you. 60 seconds in the no-name movie game. Our time begins now. It is a type of snake, and it stands up. It's got a hood on the side of it. Hiss. What kind of snake is that? It's got a hood on the side of it.
Cobra.
Yes. Okay, it is a football movie. What is this day is what? What is the day of the week it is? It's a football movie. What is the day of the week?
Friday Night Lights.
Yes. Pass. Okay, the water, it's coming up. What time of day is that? It's not, the opposite of low is what?
High tide.
Yes. Pass. Okay, they're not in. What's the opposite of in?
Out.
And it was a whole bunch of celebrities back in the day in the 80s. It was a little gang they had. What was that movie? Starting with out.
I have no idea.
Pass. Okay. Pass. Okay, one more than 12 and one more than 29. One more than 12.
13 going on 30?
Yes. And he's headless.
Oh, is that a 4 spot?
That's a 4 spot.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Okay. We might have an overtime here unless the bird comes up and just snags a big old 5 spot here with Abby in Deerfield Beach. Hello, Abby.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, guys.
Abby, no one thinks we can get this streak. We need 5. Do you feel alive?
Oh, I feel alive today, Bird.
Okay, I'm going to do my best for you.
This would be one of the greatest sports moments in KVJ history.
I know.
If he comes with a 5 spot when everything matters, getting a streak of 3.
This entire year,
Yeah.
with all of the aches and pains, the limping, the operating,
Everything
the
you've been through.
lettuce disease, it all comes down
To this
final moment. There's no Virginia. There is no witch here.
Right.
It all comes down to this moment.
There's nothing standing in your way from greatness.
This is why I was born, to be on this planet.
This moment.
For this moment.
These 60 seconds will tell all about your life.
I know the pressure.
Okay, here you go, Abby. 60 seconds on the clock in the no-name movie game. You got to beat 4, and your time begins now.
It's a movie about a bird, but it's about 2 girls that they dance and they don't like each other. It's a beautiful. It's not white. The opposite of white. It swims in the water. It's a ballerina move. She got it.
Fun.
Yes. If me and you were playing that game where we have to go underneath the pole and you have to do that dance, we are playing what? Get down underneath the pole.
Limbo?
Yes, you got it. You are a Vegas dancing woman. You are on stage. You're known as what?
Showgirl.
Yes. When water starts to heat up and it's bubbling, it gets to what? It's at its
Boiling point.
Yes. You have a grave. It's back when it's also the name of a pizza. You go there to visit people. Cowboy times. They'd have this. You bury them and you visit there. Where a cross would be. A stone would pass.
Tombstone.
Pass.
Are we all forward?
No.
I heard her say tombstone.
I did too.
But I did say the word.
Stone.
I said stone at one point, and I can't do that. That's breaking the rules. I can't take that win.
Okay. All right. That puts you at 4. Okay. We've got Bill on here again for round 2. This is now going to be overtime in the no-name movie game where the same rules apply. Can't use the characters' names, actors' names, or the words from the title of the movie. But instead of 60 seconds, you now get 10. Okay, Bill?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here you go. Are you ready, Denny's?
I'm ready.
That time begins now.
It's a black candy, and it's Jbird's favorite food.
Licorice.
And then Jbird's favorite food on top of it.
Licorice pizza.
Yep.
Ooh.
get that.
That's a bad omen. All right, here it is. Partner locked in. All right, we got Katie back here. All right, Katie, here we go. We got to get 1 to stay in, 2 to jump into the lead, okay?
All right.
All right, 10 seconds begins now. Okay, it's a cat and mouse, a cartoon. It's old. First names.
Tom and Jerry?
Yes. Friday, blank Friday. They switch bodies. She said freaky.
She did say freaky.
Yeah. The movie's freaky, right?
The movie is freaky, and she used the word freaky.
What did she say in the first one?
She said Tom and Jerry. And that was Tom and Jerry, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I mean,
that's 2 then.
Oh.
Okay.
The roast.
All right. Let's see, Ken.
You got to get 2 and force another overtime, bro.
Yeah, I know, Denny's.
Get 3 and just win.
You've never been smug either. The amount of smugness of Kevin is insane.
It's true, though.
He couldn't even keep a straight face by saying, all you need is 3.
He wants that belt.
Bird, stay focused and just do what you can do.
Dude, if you got 3 to be your 3rd win in a row, this is when you go play the Powerball for real. Because it's all lining up for you. That's how big this is.
All right. He's taking the role of Virginia right now. He's trying to get in my head. It's working.
I'm just saying what the odds are here and what you have to win. Abby, are you ready for greatness?
I am.
Abby, no one thinks we can do this. Let's shock not only the world, but the universe.
Okay.
Well, we've got this, Bird. We've got this.
2 to stay in the game, 3 to win. 10 seconds on the clock. Your time begins now.
You drive in this to go to the hospital. They put you in this.
Ambulance.
Yes. They're cards that predict your future. Tarot cards. Tarot cards.
Okay, tarot cards.
Tarot.
Okay.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. You did great. You did great.
You did good too, Bird.
Don't let it haunt you like it's gonna haunt me all weekend.
I'll pull some tarot cards for you.
Thanks.
Okay. Do you think you remember that after you go home?
This is, dude. We had it. We had the win.
I was like, you're
with
gonna tie it up. I'm
Tombstone.
like, we're going to another overtime.
I thought we had it with Tombstone. I did. But look, that's life. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I just wanted to give 100% for my team. I want to thank God. I
It was
love
a great
this.
showing.
It was a Freaky Friday.
Very competitive round. Katie, congratulations. You're going to walk away with the win here today.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, that was a thrilling round. Are you exhilarated?
I am exhilarated. It was nerve-wracking.
I don't think I want this belt to touch me.
You know what? I'm ordering a new belt. I'm going to get a new belt, and it's going to be sweet, Kevin.
Yeah. The thing smells. There's actually an odd funk that's coming off of that thing. Oh.
People are saying Kevin said Friday and Freaky Friday, but it wasn't Freaky Friday. It was just the movie Freaky, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
it was.
He does not lose his title.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie was not Freaky Friday. The movie was just Freaky. So you could say Friday because it had nothing to do with that one. So now you're telling me this story about how a buddy of yours got in trouble because of his artificial intelligence. And this is actually a good little warning for anybody out there, because this is kind of a crazy little concept here that as your AI gets to know you, and I've probably gotten to a bad place where I'm happy that it's starting to learn me and my tendencies, because it's making some of my tasks easier because it knows a past history with me. But if you start talking to your AI agent about relationship problems and it's a voice thing, I type all my stuff in. I'm not speaking to it, but some people like to speak to it.
No, you can, if you speak or if you talk, if you're giving it information.
Yes.
And you do talk.
But your buddy was letting the AI speak out loud.
Because he didn't realize he was with his girlfriend and they were in, like a playful, fun argument about pop culture. And he went to the robot to ask the question so she could hear it. But sometimes what the AI robot does is when you go to talk to it, it almost kind of brings up old stuff you've brought up. So, for example, it'd be like, hey, Kevin, how's it going? Are you still having tech issues? And are those anger issues still bothering you? You're like, I don't want nobody to know about what went on. So he was, I guess, talking to his AI about relationship issues and how to handle certain things.
Yikes.
So when he's asking about a pop culture thing, the AI leads off. So how are things with you and your girlfriend, Angie? Are things
just out of nowhere? He's asking about pop culture and it goes into his love life?
It asks how you're doing about. So when I was asking about my health issues, about the lettuce disease, I would ask it a question that had nothing to do with the lettuce disease. Hey, Birdman, just want to make sure you're good with your stomach and the vomiting. How's everything going with everything and all that? And it outed him about them having relationship issues. So now the robot said, how's things going with you and your girl? And her name is Angela, and he calls her Angie, and she goes, how's things with Angie? You guys still having issues? Is everything kind of, and she's like, what issues are you talking to the robot about that we have? Why does the robot know my name's Angela? Blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Yes. So be careful what you're telling your robot, and be careful when you ask it a question, because it might bring up some past that you don't want people to hear about.
You know, there's some interesting things about AI, and I was talking a little bit the other day saying, okay, do we need to hold AI accountable for stuff? Because what it does is it's trying to get its task done. And so sometimes it can be deceitful when it's trying to achieve that task. And so maybe you can't blame AI for having bad character. You would just say it's just trying to get its job done because that's what it's programmed to do. But sometimes I do wonder what seems to trouble me the most about AI is when it wants to take on human characteristics. And we got this email from Rita, and she had said, with you talking about AI and robots taking over, I finally encountered an oddity after using ChatGPT. I asked for recommendations for laptops for my middle schooler who is going to be traveling a lot. And it tells me this is the one I'd buy for my middle schooler. And as she was talking to it, it was talking to her like it was a mother of a middle schooler and was taking on this identity. And they just thought it was kind of weird that it wasn't just giving you advice, be like, hey, for your middle schooler, this is great. It was saying, this is what I would buy for my middle schooler. And speaking to her like itself was a mom. And she's like, that just feels kind of odd to me. Those to me are the things that kind of like tweak me out a bit.
Yeah, we haven't figured it all out yet.
But it's interesting to know that as you are searching for any kind of personal advice and you do speak to that thing, that's why I don't let that thing have voice.
Well, that's the one thing I've noticed it doing. Its recall has gotten so much better to where it brings up things you may, even if it's something for the show, if you want to like double check something and you're like, that doesn't seem right, it'll start bringing those things up as if it happened to you.
Right.
You go, so how is your drunk alcoholic uncle, Bird? I'm like, I don't have a drunk alcoholic uncle right now. This is part of the show we were talking about. What the heck?
Yeah, that is interesting stuff. I'm kind of curious if anybody else has been burnt out there using AI. Is that something we're going to have to start dealing with? Did it reveal something like what happened to your friend and his girlfriend, Angie? I do a lot of weird things in my head, and I'm wondering how many other people do the exact same things. I think you do some of these things as well, Jbird, we've discussed. Now, we're going to break down some of these specifics of these. You'd be like, is this normal or no? We're going to see if as many people do the little games that you and I do in our head. Now, you do something when you walk in a grocery store and they have the automatic doors.
Yes, I do.
What's your move?
I always act like I have the Force from Star Wars, and I open the doors with my mind. And
cool. I like
even
that.
as an adult, I'll walk up and I'll just go, I'll wave my hand, and I walk in like I'm a Jedi.
I kind of like that. That's why you walk into Publix with just that BDE.
I do
You got that Jedi energy.
I also do that when I'm driving. I'll have my steering wheel, and I always act like I put on 2 of the armed missiles on my steering wheel,
yes.
and I act like I'm shooting the Death Star when I'm stuck in traffic.
I do the exact same thing. I'm in the X-Wing fighter.
Yeah.
It's from the end of New Hope, and it's kind of like I'm driving down that little canyon, and the guns are kind of coming out, but then if I have a car behind me, and I know I've hit them, when they turn on their brake lights, that's the flames coming out the back. I'm like, got him.
Yeah, I do that. I mean, when I was a kid, it was real bad. I used to try to move things with my mind. I'm like, I know I have the force. I know I have it.
I think we've all tried that. Now, this is an interesting one, and I do kind of get this. Tell me why it is when you are going in to get a pub sub, you actually start jogging in by what you see in the parking lot.
I'll tell you why, because I've been burned so many times. There was this one time I was so hungry, and I saw a group of about 9 guys in a group heading towards, they're in the parking lot, but they had sub energy, and I was in a rush, and I go, there's no way I'm going to wait in line for 9 guys, and they were going to the sub line, so I just skedaddled and walked real fast to a light jog, and I beat them to the sub line, and I would have had to wait for 9 guys to get their subs. I beat them barely, so I won that round. But yes, I'm always surveying the land for a big subgroup, because in my head they don't have the eye of the tiger.
Dude, it's a 15 to 30 minute difference, honestly. If you've ever stood in a Publix deli line, it can take a hot minute.
This was 9 dudes.
It changes your day.
They looked hungry. You could tell they were working on something outdoor. They had just a hunger about them, and I knew they were going to the sub line. And I beat them, and I'm jogging through Publix. I didn't care.
That one I really do get.
That would have been a 35-minute detour.
I think a lot of people are probably doing that.
But I've been burned the other end where I don't get there in time, and then there's like 7 people. They're all in the same group.
Terrible.
And they are taking no. I want the fancy lettuce that you have to go all the way in the back and get. Right. And I cut my cheese very thin. It's always the longest subs.
And you kind of look insane when you're in a half sprint running into a Publix. You're like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah, that's the least craziest thing I've done in Publix.
But I get the justification for it. And then what do you do to try to swim faster when you're in your pool? You create this scenario in your mind.
I do. I act like I've been thrown overboard and I am in a sea full of sharks.
Who threw you overboard?
The pirates.
Oh, you're on a pirate ship.
Yeah, just in my head, or the terrorist, or I had to escape the terrorist boat.
Oh, you got away, yeah.
And now I find myself in the middle of the ocean, and we are in the ocean where sharks rule.
Hungry sharks.
We're talking hammerheads.
And you're delicious.
They haven't eaten in a long time.
And you're bleeding, of course.
Oh, and I've got that sweet/salty kind of blood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sharks can taste it from miles away.
I'm already bleeding from something I banged on the boat, so I'm attracting the hammerheads.
So I asked, creating imaginary fictional scenarios in your head during mundane tasks. Do a lot of people do that, or is it just Jbird and I that are the big weirdos? 80% of people say it's normal. Good. 80% of people, just to get through life, they create these imaginary scenarios that they're walking through in their head that are fictional. They're Indiana Jones, or they're this, or they're that, or they're a vampire.
Do you know what I do sometimes to get through meetings? I kind of have a daydream scenario that the building gets taken over by diehard type terrorists.
Okay.
And
you're like Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I have to figure out, all right, now, if all of a sudden they come from both ends.
Yeah.
What's my move? How do I get the show out of here?
Right.
Do we go down the stairs? Do we try to break a window and scale the wall?
That's interesting. I think there are people that have either been in the military or law enforcement, and they legitimately do that every single time with every building they're ever in. They size it up immediately to be like, okay, if it goes down, what am I doing? How am I getting out of here?
I was talking to a police officer, and he told me that sometimes it can be exhausting because even in his off time, no matter where because police officers, they're trained to observe everything.
Right, yeah.
So even when he's at a barbecue, he's just observing it. He can't shut it off. He can't relax.
Look, I think a lot of people, if you've been trained for something that every environment you go into, you do this. It's not like you just turn that off if you're not doing that at that moment.
Oh, when we go home, sometimes we start getting into the debates with our family members because we're so trained on the air to get into debates.
Yeah.
So just no matter what.
Or like if I'm talking to somebody and a song is playing and they start singing, I have to stop speaking. It's just a radio rule. They're like, what were you going to say? Be like, I can't, man. The song, they start singing.
You're making a sandwich and all of a sudden you have to promote a radio contest. It's so ingrained in you.
I got to get in the sponsor. I just got to do it. It does happen.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away. Because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
This Dirt of the Day is brought to you by my favorite closet people, closetsbydesign.com.
Well, Virginia's in Cleveland. So we're going to be filling in and doing the dirt here today, but we got a lot of good love that is going on, including old Zendaya and Tom Holland as their movies sit at number 1 and number 2 at the box office. They're off having a little private wedding celebration this week for friends and family in Surrey, England.
I mean, you have to look at each other and go, does it get better than this? I mean, we're in a hot run right now.
Pretty good little run they got going on, yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. They're doing pretty well. They say the couple reportedly spent over $670,000 just to rent the entire estate, the Beaverbrook Hotel. It's about 15 miles from his southwest London hometown where he grew up. They say hotel staff were required to sign NDAs and guests were barred from using mobile phones. Boy, that's how you know when you've made it, right? When you can tell your guests, if you're coming to my event, no phone, and they're going to be like, yeah, cool.
What crazy stuff are they doing?
Yeah, well, I think it's just anything. They just don't want people selling stuff to the tabloids. And
let's say you accidentally fart, and that's going to be a tabloid story. You want none of that.
And part of it, too, is I think for them, they can just go on ahead and make the money themselves. You know, if somebody else sends out all the footage, then nobody's going to pay for it because it's already out there.
Yeah.
And to them, it's like, no, this is our move. This is our thing. We get to make the money off of it.
And they need more cash.
Yeah, right. Well, I've noticed that people who have gone to the wedding of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, they talk a little bit about just how wonderful it was. They don't really give up too many details. Kylie Kelce, she was talking a little bit more. I guess there's one small little detail that she released that came out, and that's just that her daughters were the flower girls and her husband, Jason, was crying. In fact, he cried more at his brother's wedding than he did his own, but she thinks it's just because of the his girls were up there being the flower girls, and the moment was just so much and so beautiful.
And the cameras are on him.
That's true. And it gave him something to talk about on his podcast. It would bring people in, yeah. It's a different day these days since when he got married. They do say that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are going to be looking for a new home that they can call their own marital home. They don't want to make one of their already many houses the permanent residence because it feels like that's their bachelor pad or bachelorette pad.
They want their single homes, and then they want their marriage home.
Which, when you have that kind of money, you're allowed to do that, I guess.
I think more marriages would survive if, I don't know, every fourth day you all just separated for a day and then just took a day off and saw each other the next day. I bet you anybody, divorces would go down.
It might, yeah. I know couples that have done that, and it worked for them.
You're not supposed to see somebody every day. It's not normal, Kevin.
Well, what they're doing is they're planning to turn the Kansas City house into their shared marital home as he finishes up his NFL career. But they're also right now looking for properties in the exclusive California community of Montecito. Got a lot of big names that are out there. And so I guess that's where their permanent residence is going to be, in California. But it looks like Taylor's going to be spending more time wherever Travis is, but she's also going to be keeping her New York apartment. So I don't think they're going to shed all the other places, but the permanent residence is going to be for them in California. Big congratulations to Cameron Diaz. She became a mom for the first time at 47 and now has welcomed her third child at the age of 53. Might remember she's married to Benji Madden, who did a spot at Madison Square Garden as a guest on the Hillary Duff tour the other night.
Is he the one that dated Hillary Duff when she was 16?
No, that was his brother, Joel.
Oh, he's like, it wasn't me. It was my twin brother, I swear.
Right, yeah. It was not him. It was the brother. And you're right. He probably lets everybody know that.
I swear.
Hillary herself apparently had to run her 5-year-old daughter to the emergency room before she did that show at Madison Square Garden. They didn't say exactly why, but I guess she needed some stitches.
Oh, boy.
Hillary is a mom herself. got 3 daughters with her husband, Matthew Coma, age 2, 5, and 7. Then she has a 14-year-old with her ex-husband.
Did you ever have stitches as a kid?
Oh, yeah, plenty.
Yeah, I think I had 9 or 10 different rounds of stitches.
I think any self-respecting kid's got to kind of have that, right?
There was one year I went to the hospital, 4 rounds of stitches. I know it sounds like I'm bragging.
It does.
But
it's okay. You deserved it.
Age 8 was a rough year.
Took a lot of hits that year, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, I don't know what's going on, but they say there was a medical scare involving a member of the band that forced Lionel Richie's San Francisco concert to be postponed last night. Fans were actually outside the Chase Center. It was minutes before the concert, and they said, sorry, the thing's canceled, which that's got to be kind of frustrating when I know fans don't react well to that.
Even if there's a medical issue, they don't care. They're like, we want to hear the music.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. I thought this was pretty cool, though, a neat little moment that had happened. There is this woman named Jessica Potter. She is a huge Ariana Grande fan, and she wanted to go see Ariana Grande in concert in Boston, but could not because she has Hodgkin's lymphoma and had a medical emergency. So her husband then decided to go get a wig and a microphone, had it ordered, and then did a one-man concert for her to make up for the fact she couldn't see Ariana Grande. They, of course, made a TikTok video. It then went viral, and Ariana Grande's beauty brand, REM, invited the couple to a VIP suite in Boston to actually watch the show when she was healthier to do it, and she could. And then Ariana Grande's actual management team found out and then got her tickets to another show in the front row on a second night.
Look at that. Everyone wins.
There's a little bit of the audio from that viral video of her husband putting on the wig and putting on the show for her while she was going through chemo. We're going to show it to the girl. I don't know. Where did you get a microphone? So clearly she loved it, and that's why it was so endearing seeing him do that. Well, this is kind of a dangerous move if you are Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, bringing out somebody that can really knock out a song. I've seen Chris Stapleton live. That dude has got some pipes, man.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
That guy can really sing.
Axl, what are you doing?
Yeah, they invited him on stage to do a little number together. They did Knocking on Heaven's Door, and I guess it all kind of went down because Chris Stapleton had been playing like the night before or something like that, and this was all in Toronto, and I guess somebody reached out, and they made it all happen. But as you might imagine, Chris Stapleton sounded pretty good singing this song.
Mr. Chris Stapleton.
Okay. Axl's still doing all right.
You can't say Axl ain't going for it, man.
No, you're right.
And listen to that crowd. Is that just for Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, and they're still doing well. I mean,
look.
Yeah.
I was shocked, and maybe I shouldn't have been, and maybe I just wasn't in that culture. I was blown away by how many fans Limp Bizkit still has.
Wow, yeah, I know they played the amphitheater. I think they packed it.
Not only that, they went on a world tour and packed it. I mean, they got a ton of songs.
Yeah.
So some of these bands, they do have that audience that has been very loyal to them.
If you can get 5 to 10 hits, you got a career.
You do.
Yeah. You can do it for a while. Some new music dropping today. Karol G has got a new one, a new album. No Me Arrepiento de Sentir Tanto is their album. Madonna and Kylie Minogue, they've got a remix version of Love Sensation we checked out a little bit the other day.
When we go walking, sunlight's all around you, it's all around you, and did I mention you always bring me back with your pure intention, baby. I'm with me, there's something that I gotta do, baby.
Drug music.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there you go. That's what Madonna does these days.
That is the kind of song. I am stuck at a club. I have no ride. I can't find my phone, and that's playing in the background.
Just your living hell, all happening at once.
It's the worst of the week. We sound like dopes when we make bad jokes and commit misquotes. It's the worst of the week. It's amazing we get paid to speak, so let's start the countdown. It's the worst of the week.
It was a pretty clean week this week. We didn't have a lot of flubs going on, and I thought we started off with a lot of potential, but it really didn't seem to take off too much.
All right, that's good. Getting better every day.
Yes. So we had the one. Denny's, where's the one clip that we got to play? Oh, okay. It's all the way down here at the bottom. Okay, look at that. See, it doesn't even stand out because it's just one little solitary clip all by itself. Do you have any idea what this clip might be, Jbird? Do you remember? I think you even called it where you said it was probably going to make it.
Yes, I do remember because we put it on social media for more mockery.
Yes, we did. Yeah. More shame.
Yeah, I forget. I know it's me.
Going through lottery numbers.
I picked the wrong. Yeah, it's me.
It's good, though. We only got one this week. This is it, baby.
Can you give me one more shot at the title here?
Yes.
Because the number 41 is on top of Ralston's head, just doing the lambada, just dancing.
Are you looking at the Powerball numbers from last night? Because that hit.
44 did?
What did you just say?
You said 41.
41.
Oh, my gosh.
That was,
if you're trying to get
visions
messages.
are so powerful, right? They're just so powerful.
I'm getting too many messages at one time, Kevin. I can't keep my numbers straight. Wow. Yeah, I'm not good with numbers or talking or memory.
That was good. That was a fun little clip.
That's all we had? I know we had more.
You know what? Some of them get a little ticky-tack.
I hear you. Almost kind of nitpicking a little bit.
Yeah, I don't, because you're gonna have some of those naturals that just do it. I like the ones that a little bit more of a chuckle, and that was the one that made me laugh this week.
I swear Virginia had one. Oh, yes, she did. The Japan microwave one. That was next level.
Yeah.
That went on for 2 days.
That was. I think probably the only thing with that is that just you'd have to replay the whole segment because she went so into that. And if you missed all that conversation that happened, because I think part of it happened on the after the show. In fact, it was on the after the show. And if you don't listen to that, there was one of our listeners in Japan named Gunther was challenging Virginia, where she said she had seen a special on CBS Early Morning, and they were talking about how the Japanese don't use microwaves because they respect the food. They believe in doing the slow cooking to really keep in the nutrients. Now, Virginia's got some hang up about microwaves, and she was giving out some questionable information saying about how if you stand near a microwave, you're going to get cancer. And I kind of refuted that a little bit and pushed back. And then Gunther really pushed back and said, I live in Japan, and our kitchens are very small here, so a majority of us not only have but use microwaves like crazy, and they don't demonize plastics like Americans do. In fact, a lot of times they just leave the film right on the food as they cook it.
See, what happened
in
was
the microwave.
She changed her argument. It started off with high-end food in Japan,
right,
which then translated into...
And I told her that. I said that makes sense because I don't think a lot of high-end restaurants in America are using microwaves to prepare, so that does make sense.
But it went from high-end food to everyone in Japan doesn't use a microwave, and then Gunther goes, that's not true, and then it turned into
then we were talking about the nutrients, and we found out that just because you put it in the microwave doesn't mean it zaps all the nutrients. In fact, sometimes it actually keeps it in more. So it was a lot. But the amazing thing about Virginia, she doesn't double down, she triples down, and then she keeps on going.
Well, what sucks is that I start getting emails about how wrong she is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I know.
And then the crazy thing about it, how it wrapped up, people even saw the piece that she was talking about, CBS This Morning, was saying, I saw the same piece, and they didn't say anything about the microwaves. That wasn't even part of the special. They were just talking about food in Japan.
I am not even kidding when I say that I got the longest email about how someone watched that same special and they never mentioned microwave.
And she went way off on this dude Gunther and said some very despicable things about Gunther and was really going after him. And he then doubled down himself and came right back out and gave Virginia another email.
Gunther wasn't scared, and
No,
I
he
don't
wasn't.
think we're going to, that's not the last we heard from Gunther. In fact, I think Gunther wants the fight.
Yeah, and I don't think he has anything else to say. I don't think anybody else does, but Virginia's walking away claiming the win on this one.
That's insane to
Which
me.
is, yeah. She's the only one I think that is really kind of seeing it the way she's seeing it.
So just because it was so long and dragged out, that's why it was not the worst of the week.
It doesn't fit within that segment. It's something because it would take 10 minutes to play that.
I mean, it was awful and it was bad.
Yes.
It was the worst.
It was actually the worst thing that happened this week on this, but it was very entertaining that she was so mad.
Oh, I backed off.
She was insulting me. She came after me. She was very mad.
I could tell conditions were right for a Hurricane Virginia, and
yeah.
I was dressed as a mime.
She was pissed.
And I knew that I only had so many words left in the tank before I got a nard shot.
Yeah, no, that girl was fired up. She was fired up, y'all.
I just let you two fight it out.
Yeah, well, I just, I didn't have to say much. She was just, she was defensive. So if you did miss that, you can go check it out. That's why I tell you the after the show. If you're not watching that, that's only available on digital channels. You can watch on YouTube, Spotify. You can go to the WRMF app. Everything is there easily. And all you have to do to get that, in fact, we try to make it easy for you to find these episodes. You go to the episode from July 31st, and it's easy to know which one it is because it's called Go F Yourself Gunther. And it's got Virginia flipping the bird on the thumbnail of that video, and it says ATS, so it's the after the show.
Dude, I mean, you're a radio man, and you know about the industry very well. Do most people get into drag-out fights with their listeners?
No, not to that level. That's why she's so great. That's why I love her on the radio. Yeah, it just, because it went on a very long time.
I think she said some really unsavory things to Gunther.
Yeah. She even went after my hair. She got so mad. She was attacking me. Just everybody was in the way. So people are saying you got to play something for this. So we'll just do this for Virginia.
She's been incorrect all day long, so it's time for another round of Virginia is wrong. She's been wrong since the break of dawn, going on and on way too long. Oh, Virginia is wrong.
You can suck it.
The thumbnail you put on that episode is Virginia looking pissed and flicking off the camera. And it says, Go F Yourself, Gunther. That's the name of the episode.
That's what she said over and over again. So there you go. Check out that after the show episode. That actually is the worst of the week.
She really hates microwaves.
She does. Really hates them. Got an interesting dilemma here with a guy who is trying to figure out how to handle his relationship, and now he has an odd connection with his girlfriend's dad. He said in his email a few years ago, I was in this serious relationship with a woman that was 15 years older than me. I was in my early 30s at the time. The differences in our age is kind of where, it kind of ultimately doomed the relationship just because we didn't have a lot in common that way. So we had a good 3-year run and then amicably split, deciding it was the best thing for both of us. So now I've been in this wonderful new relationship for the last 6 months with a girl that is my age. We've been getting serious, and I am past the point of meeting the parents. In fact, I have a good relationship with her dad. So you can imagine my surprise when I met his new girlfriend last weekend, and it turned out that it was my ex, the one who was 15 years older than me. When we were introduced, my ex and I both smiled and mentioned that we knew each other, but neither of us alluded to the extent of our connection and past relationship. Well, hours later, my ex sent me a text and asked that I never expose the extent of our past relationship. I told her that I wasn't comfortable lying, but she said that she is new in this relationship and she really likes my girlfriend's dad, and she's afraid that if I reveal our previous relationship, it will end hers. Look, I don't want to jeopardize her chance at happiness, but not revealing this could jeopardize my happiness. So do you think I should let my girlfriend know that I'm officially Eskimo brothers with her dad?
See, If this was me and my girlfriend wouldn't get mad. She would want me to be honest about it. And just because, I mean, nobody did anything to be a jerk. This just happens to be a weird circumstance. No one did anybody wrong here. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's not as if anyone should be mad at each other. And you have to just know your partner. My girlfriend wouldn't get mad at that. She would go, she might even think it's just kind of just weird. It's like, wow, that's odd. But I don't think there's any reason to get mad about it. I'd be honest with my girlfriend. Just because if she found out 8 months later that I never told her, she'd be like, well, why didn't you tell me? You could tell me. I wouldn't have got mad at that. I know you had a past before I, you know. But that's my situation.
Right.
Not everyone's like that.
Yes. I would tell him, I'd be like, what are your priorities in this? I would imagine that your new girlfriend is a much higher priority than your ex-girlfriend. And yes, it could jeopardize her relationship with your girlfriend's dad, because maybe you'd be like, you know what? I don't know. This is kind of too weird, and I just no, because they're in that new stage of the honeymoon and their relationship, and he may just be like, you know what, no, I don't think I want to go any further with this. So yeah, it might jeopardize their relationship, but it's definitely going to jeopardize yours. And like I said, you got to figure out where is your priorities, and your priorities should be with the girl that you're with, and doing the right thing with letting her know that, hey, your dad's girlfriend, I dated. And, you know, let her decide. Maybe she won't want to blow it up and say anything either.
You did nothing wrong here.
Right.
If anything, all you're doing is being honest and giving her a heads up.
Yep.
Saying, look, if something ever comes up in the future, I'm just letting you know, back in the day, me and this woman had a little thing going on for a while. And if something comes up, that's why. I'm telling you this out of respect so you don't get confused if something ever comes up.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not lying. You're being honest, and you're not coming from a place of being malicious.
And then you put the ball in the court of your current girlfriend, because now she knows that her dad's girlfriend is your boyfriend's ex.
Man, I would be so freaked out if I found out me and my dad were Eskimo brothers.
It'd be weird. I do understand how it would be weird.
I mean, that happens in friend groups sometimes where, you know, but when you're talking relatives and father, son, and the son got there first, and now dad's.
It would take a lot for me to get there, but I think if I started dating a woman that one of my sons had been with, I think I'd be like, yeah, I don't know.
And then accidentally one night in the throes of passion, she calls you your son's name on accident.
Oh, that'd be so messed up, dude.
Sick, man.
So messed up.
It would be a mind freak.
Yeah. So I asked, should he let his girlfriend know that he is officially Eskimo brothers with her dad? 71% of people were saying yes. So I think that is the right move. You need to let your girlfriend know that you used to date your dad's girlfriend currently. But let's say that you are the girlfriend and the daughter. Would you then tell your dad that the woman he's dating had a 3-year relationship with your boyfriend? Would you reveal that, or would you just keep that quiet?
If I was the girl with the dad now, would I tell them about the son?
So should the girlfriend then tell her dad, be like, hey, just so you know, the woman you're dating had a 3-year relationship with my boyfriend?
The reason why I would be honest is because everything is so close in the circle, and anything can leak out at any time, and nobody did anything wrong here.
Right.
That's why I don't think honesty is a bad thing.
It's not about doing it wrong, though. It's about throwing out what's going to make it weird. And the question is, do they have a right to know? Should they tell them? If the daughter wants to be cool, is she obligated to then tell her dad about this? Or is it something where it's like, you're not obligated to say anything? You don't have to do that.
You're not obligated to really ever bring up your past unless it affects someone else's health, or if that past is going to come back and do something and make you embarrassed and ruin your relationship. My only fear is you've got a very close situation. How do you know someone doesn't have too much to drink at a barbecue and starts telling tales of the past?
Right.
No one did anything wrong here. It's weird. It's odd. It's definitely bizarre. But especially if you're the son, I think you are in the clear. You were with a woman who was older. You broke up. You met somebody new.
He did everything right.
C'est la vie.
He's all good. I'm talking about what happens then if he puts the burden then. It's like a hot potato. He now passes it on to his girlfriend. Now does she tell her dad? And look, nobody's done anything wrong, but it is creepy as hell is what Tom said in the chat. And
Tom's
he is right about that.
Tom's right.
And I think it might end the relationship. with the dad and this woman, because he may be like, yeah, this is just, no, I can't do this.
You know what, man? Everyone's different, and everyone walks in a different set of shoes. What's not freaky to you, some people can get over real quick.
Yeah, I do understand the ex-girlfriend. She really likes the dad and wants to stay in the relationship. I understand why she's worried. I understand why she would ask to not say anything. But everybody's all about letting them know. In fact, 88% of people think the daughter should tell the dad if it gets to her.
I mean, could you imagine if this bombshell was revealed? You found out before you met the Mexican queen, her and your dad had a hookup one night.
Yeah.
Doesn't that change?
Absolutely,
Would
it
that
changes.
change your marriage on how you look at everything?
I mean, I'm married now, but
I know you're married now, but does it make you look at things differently?
Yeah, it makes you feel weird. And if it's early in the relationship, it's not going to last. I'd be like, yeah, I don't think I can get over this. I'm just too weirded. And that's where they are. They're early in their relationship. This is the point where I think the relationship is going to end. She's right for being worried.
But I'm saying you've been married to the queen so long.
Yeah.
And this is let's say your dad and you never even met the queen before. This was just something that happened a year before.
Right.
Are you able to look at that situation?
But I've now been married to the queen as long as I have.
But you get over it?
I mean, you have to. I'm not going to throw away a 30-year marriage, just because that happened way back in the day.
It's in your head, though.
But if it happened and the queen and I have been together for a couple of weeks, we're not going to be together right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I would end the relationship. Okay. It would be enough, and it would weird me out that badly. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, I think a relationship is going to end if everybody's honest. Just my thoughts.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
The Whacked Out News being powered by Lebovic Law Group Warriors for Justice. A South Florida lobster diving dispute has escalated into an attempted murder charge. Authorities are alleging 51-year-old boat captain Michael Simpson of shutting off an 18-year-old diver's air supply near Fisher Island on July 29th during the state's two-day lobster mini-season. Witnesses say Simpson, anchored nearby, claimed the group was in, quote, his spot, then swam over and shut off teen Hunter Coffer's Brownie third lung surface breathing device.
Whoa.
The boat's owner then jumped in and pulled Coffer out, disoriented but uninjured. Simpson allegedly then fled before voluntarily surrendering. Now he's facing attempted second-degree murder charges. I mean, dude, come on.
I really hope they clamp down on the law with him.
They say that he never touched the tank, is at least what his attorney is trying to claim. But I don't know, man.
Is he trying to blame it on the lobster? No, I don't think so.
According to the affidavit, 18-year-old Hunter Coffer was diving using a floating air tank attached to a long hose called a Brownie third lung when another boat approached at a high rate of speed, circling the vessel several times. There was an argument over who was there first, and moments later, they say they saw Simpson swim over to the air supply unit and intentionally turn it off.
We have a diver down there, you.
The teen pulled to safety by his partner on the boat, who told police the boy was gasping for air.
Captain Murder. What? I got you now.
Wow, that's crazy. That thing got heated, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Gotta be careful in them waters, man. People lose their mind.
They do. I mean, come on, man. Over getting a spot for lobster?
Well, a lot of people, they're drinking on the water.
Yeah.
They're out in the sun.
Who knows? Well, 42-year-old Eduardo Moraga was working at a Coconut Creek Planet Fitness when he reportedly stole a female member's credit card and then used it to buy food and beer at a local barbecue joint. The woman noticed that the card was missing after receiving notifications on her phone about the transactions, and there's even surveillance photos showing Eduardo going to the barbecue place while wearing his orange Planet Fitness uniform, ordering barbecue and beer, and then charging it to the woman's card.
I like that feature when the bank lets you know, but sometimes they won't let me pay for something and I've already paid for it. And they're going, did you buy this purchase? It will not go through unless you say yes. Like, yeah, I bought the purchase. Please let it go through.
Yeah.
It overly protects you to the point where I'm going, yeah.
I know.
I
we
bought
have
the
same
dinosaur
kind of
statue.
problems. Yeah, it's pretty wild, actually. Yeah, this is kind of a crazy story, too. You just never know. If you're in Brickell, there is a video that's out of a guy that asked a girl if he could see her Van Cleef and Cartier bracelets. And then the second she showed him, he snatched them and took off running. Now, this actually happens because there are some influencers out there that they want to do little fit checks of people walking by in cool clothes, and the people love showing off what they're wearing. This person did that. This person then tried to steal it. Now, luckily, a kid nearby chased the perpetrator down and actually got pepper sprayed in the process, but he still managed to help stop him until the cops arrived and was holding him on the ground until the authorities showed up. Here's a bit of that melee.
He's coming, the officer's coming there. He robbed her. He robbed me, the blue one. Help me. They're calling the police. Yeah. Calling the police. He robbed her.
What happened?
He'll be here in 5 minutes. Yes. He'll be here in 2 minutes. Yes. Don't let him go. I got him.
Wow. Luckily, the cops got there in time to make the arrest. They say a 48-year-old Lisa DeBenedicts is now facing charges after police said she used her 9-year-old daughter to help her steal merchandise from a Palm Coast Target.
Unfortunately, this is a big thing that's going on where they're using the kid as the pawn.
Poor kid. She was wearing a backpack, and so she was taking all the items and putting her cute little pink backpack to try to get away with. Like, who's going to question a little girl with a pink backpack, huh?
But think about that. That kid's been probably her whole life been used to do that. Then she becomes an adult. That's how she thinks the world works.
Yeah, that's how you do things.
She's now an adult now, and she goes and does the same thing.
That's terrible.
And doesn't break the cycle.
Terrible parenting. Yeah, and that's why we have issues as adults.
That's what happens.
Yep. There's a crazy story out of Oakland. 2 brothers, ages 4 and 7, allegedly took their parents' Toyota while their parents were asleep and went for a drive. It all ended in a violent crash that left a woman walking her dog in critical condition. Police say the boys drove several blocks from their home before colliding with another vehicle, losing control, striking the pedestrian, and crashing into a wall and fence.
Dude, at age 4, I wouldn't even be able to know how to open up a car door.
I mean,
let alone drive a car.
Oh, yeah. They were like swiping cars, driving down the road. It was insane.
I seen the 2 young boys laying on the ground here, and then I seen the woman laying on the ground over here, and to me, she seemed really lifeless. The airbags did deploy, so I did see one of the kids fly to the back because when the airbag deployed, it hit them so hard, and they were so small. These kids were so small.
David, the family says both of those boys' parents were asleep when all of this happened. They say they have no idea why the boys took the car or how they even knew how to operate it.
Man, that's impressive. 4 and 7, and they're able to do that. That's pretty wild.
I mean, in a way, they're gifted.
Yeah.
I think most 4-year-olds and 7-year-olds could not do that, right?
Right. I wouldn't think so. That's why it's a surprising story to me, but clearly they can. And so I guess if you've got a kid that's 4 or older, you need to maybe let them know about and respect cars.
But who knows?
It can be.
Did the parents teach them how to, drive a car? Because kids, they'll absorb all that stuff.
You don't know. Boy, there's a healthcare executive that is looking for a $10 million payout after a bat struck her during a Yankees game on June 2nd. 37-year-old Stephanie Duluk was seated in the 4th row behind home plate when a Guardians infielder, Jose Ramirez, lost his bat mid-swing during the 5th inning. The bat cleared the protective netting and knocked Duluk from her seat. She claims that the blow caused a traumatic brain injury, concussion, severe light sensitivity, and permanent neck and hand damage, leaving her unable to work.
Now she owns a 4th of the Yankees.
It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Now, her lawsuit's alleging that the netting was, quote, significantly lower than the adjacent sections. But there is something called the baseball rule that's been around for 100 years, which typically shields teams from such liability. So it'll be interesting to see, because they put up netting, recognizing it could be dangerous for fans, what happens. And you've had this before where fans have been hurt or struck by something that came from the playing area.
Oh, there was one player who started crying one time because his bat flew out and hit a woman in the head, or it was a kid, and he was heartbroken over it. I forget who it was. I mean, that's. Of course, you're gonna feel bad if you care about humanity.
Right.
You don't want to hurt anybody.
No, you're right. Absolutely. Pretty crazy video, and I guess if you're on a safari, this is what you want. There were some people who are on a tourist boat in Botswana when they saw a male hippo, and they kind of chill and just cruised by it, and then all of a sudden that hippo's like, I'm gonna put on a show, and came after him, and they are trying to truck it. And those hippos, man, those things are nasty.
They do not play. They will rip you apart.
Yeah.
9 ways from Sunday.
Luckily, nobody was hurt, but that was probably pretty terrifying. It makes for a great video, though.
They're cool to watch.
Yeah.
I love watching me some hippo videos.
This also is a very good video coming off of QVC. Now, there was the host, Tony Bratton, who I guess was talking about this hairdo that she has. And, you typically will call it like a blowout.
Oh, this is an amazing clip.
She didn't use the word out. She used another word for the sanctity of the younger ears who might be listening. We're going to bleep it in this clip, but...
Can we please play that on the After the Show podcast without the bleep?
Yes, we can.
Because without the bleep, it's so much funnier.
It is. But here it is with the bleep.
Show the texture and this wave pattern. Again, it looks like you went and got a job at your blowout.
And she's like, at this point, she's realizing, like, oh my gosh, did I just say BJ?
Dude, she looks like she collapses on the ground. She's so embarrassed.
Oh, yeah. She cannot believe she just said this.
Salon. Oh, my God. And it looks beautiful.
All right, so here's what's happening today. We're having a huge beauty sale. Everything ships to you for free, but that goes away at the end of the day. I will remind you that this is a one-time only price.
I always love it, too, when the other one tries to play it straight as if nothing happened.
I was trying to help her out. That is pretty amazing.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
I gotta tell you, I really love this food, but I thought it probably wasn't very good for me, so I haven't eaten it much. So I did a little bit of a deeper dive into dates. Have you ever had a date? I don't mean going out with a girl. I mean the actual food that's kind of sweet. They call it nature's candy.
It's called the poop fruit.
Yeah, it could be because it is packed with fiber. It's got a whole bunch of other good stuff in there like potassium, magnesium, copper, antioxidants, and some natural sugars. And they say, a lot of times we hear sugar and we start demonizing it, but it's really the added sugars that come on top of the natural sugars that you have that you need to stay away from.
Oh, what don't we demonize? No matter what it is. Oh, you can't have salt, can't have sugar.
They say dates will give you improved digestion. It regulates your blood pressure and cholesterol. It fights inflammation, gives you bone health, and steadier blood sugar. And they say it's also a popular natural sweetener that can replace refined sugars and things like smoothies and energy bites and baked goods and snacks and all that kind of stuff. And they say pairing them with protein or healthy fats such as nuts or nut butter can actually help blood sugar even more stabilize. So I'm kind of looking at this. I'm like, well, maybe I need to do that a little bit more often. Now, they say eating too many can contribute to excess calorie intake. But they say for the most part, you should be having a few dates a day as part of a balanced diet. Now, if you got diabetes or blood sugar concerns, you need to watch portion sizes. But for the most part, don't demonize the dates. In fact, maybe I might start getting those and having a couple every day because they're a nice little snack.
Boy, that is a crazy Friday night. Get some dates in you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe some bottled water.
I don't know. I don't know if I have enough room.
If you get crazy, maybe you can have an ice snack. Just a pile of ice.
This is going to be great, isn't it? Look at my weekend. How rowdy. We're going to pile of dates and just go crazy on them.
You're the healthiest guy I know. And then you come in here with even more ridiculously healthy stuff.
Honestly, I thought dates were too bad for you, and I really didn't eat them that much. When I did, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having a date. I can't believe it. But I'm like, maybe I should be eating them more often.
If I eat dates and I'm questioning the health benefits, somebody needs to kick my ass immediately. I get permission. I do. If I'm like, how many calories are in that date? Punch me.
I wasn't allowing myself to have dates. Now I'm going to. Just a few, of course. Not too many. All right, Bird, what you got on your mind today?
Well, I was telling y'all a couple weeks ago, I've been learning or trying to learn how to train squirrels in my backyard.
Okay.
And I really, really felt like I was getting somewhere with this one squirrel. Now, there's 3 phases you want to go with. You want to build... you want to build a relationship so it's familiar with you. So you want that to happen. I got that going. I got that. I think me and this one squirrel, we were familiar with one another.
Okay.
Then it said shrink the distance. I noticed that I was able to get closer to this one squirrel. And then I was on phase 3, having the squirrel eat out of your hand. And baby, I was getting close. I was getting so close. And then it all went to crap. Dakota, the German Shepherd that's staying at my house, it's pretty much my dog as well, ran outside. The door was open and scared the hell out of the squirrel. Ooh. Dakota does not like squirrels. All the work I have done with this squirrel is gone. Won't even go near me now. It's scared of me.
Right.
So now how do I rebuild that trust? Or do I go on to a new squirrel now?
I think as long as the dog's there, this is not going to happen. You're going to have to choose what kind of relationship with an animal you're going to have. And sometimes that just cancels out. If you got a relationship with Dakota, their dream of being a squirrel whisperer they're probably going to have to take a back seat.
Which goes to my part 2 of what's on my mind. I got a message the other day. Someone said, Bird, you're doing a lot of different things. Like you're trying to be a mime. You're trying to learn how to make fire.
Got a lot of activities,
the natural way. You're talking about all these things. I got to tell you, and I'm being 100% honest when I say this.
Yeah.
When I had that lettuce disease, I swear to you on everything, there were 2 separate moments where I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And when you think you're going to die, and I know it sounds like I'm being dramatic, I ended up going to the hospital. That's how badly it got. You start to think about certain things in your life. You start to take stock and things, mistakes you've made, opportunities you didn't take. You look at life a little bit differently. And I really believe that lettuce disease changed something in my thinking. Go do the things you want to go do in life before it's too late.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah.
If you want to learn how to build a fire, as simple or stupid as that sounds, since I was a kid, always wanted to learn how to make a fire with some sticks like you see in the movies.
Right.
Learn that skill.
Don't
Have
wait.
that. Mark it off that bucket list.
Don't wait. Yeah.
Too many times you talk, but you don't walk.
Right.
I want to walk, baby.
Yeah.
I want to learn. I want to be the best mime I can be. Now, am I going to be the best mime? No. But I'm going to have that skill set.
Right. Which comes in very handy.
Sometimes you got to get knocked down a couple pegs.
To get back up again.
To get back up and realize what is important. Family, friends, your inner circle, people who really do love and trust you and that you love and trust. That is the most important thing on the planet. You have that, you have nothing.
I'd say it's a good lesson for the youth that you need to attack life like you're 70 and go after it because you don't know how much time you have. And so don't always think in the back of your mind, you know what, one day I'll get to that. One day.
What are you waiting
Make it 2 days.
What are you waiting for? Till you're 78 to have that great moment?
Too many people do.
The time is now.
Yeah.
The time is now.
True. You're right.
All right. That's all I got.
Valuable lesson there.
That's all I got, Kev.
Yep. Preach, Bird. All right, Denny's, what do you got on your mind here today?
Well, I know it's kind of gimmicky, and I used to have one of these, a 3D television.
Okay.
But the downside of it was you had to wear glasses when you watched. It's kind of a lot. It's like a to-do.
Yeah.
I jumped onto the train when it first came out. I thought maybe it was going to get bigger, and it kind of just fizzled. But the other day, and maybe this technology's been out for a while, but the other day I saw they now have 3D televisions that are no glasses.
Huh.
You look at it.
Okay.
And the way it works is it looks like you're looking into kind of a shadow box. You know, one of those boxes that has depth? So when you're watching it, you can see depth within the television. Mm-hmm. So it makes things look amazing.
It is amazing what they're doing. I don't know if this is the same thing, but I did see that it is purest color in the way that humans view it. It's a newer technology. I just saw it 2 days ago, and they were talking about this is the revolutionary new TV, and it just the color. Have you ever seen some of those TVs? And man, they're amazingly getting better with each generation to the point where it just pops. Like you can't even tell. Like you put your hand like it's right there. It's a real thing in front of you.
Yep. So I seen Samsung dropped a monitor. I guess they can only really make these up to about 27 inches at the time, so they're kind of smaller televisions. And if you go with anything larger, I mean, you're looking at like $4,000, $5,000. But I was wondering if anyone's used one of these, and if you think that it's worth it. I know it's still kind of gimmicky with the 3D stuff, but I played a bunch of games in the past with the 3D feature. If it's a game that is designed to play in 3D, it looks just mind-blowing. If it's not, they have a feature in it. You can click a button, and it takes any normal program, and it then makes it 3D, and it adds depth to things, I guess using AI or whatever. But I was wondering if anyone's used this, and if they thought it was good, or is it something we wait for until the technology gets a little bit better? But new tech like that is pretty dope, and if somebody has any hands-on experience with it, I was looking into one of these.
When I went and got my TV, I thought it was all fancy. I went to Best Buy. I'm like, all right, this is it's pretty solid. Yeah. And then they have that secret room where you have the real good TVs to where it looks like people are coming out of the screen.
They're insane.
I wouldn't allow in that room.
You weren't, huh?
But how much better are those TVs? Are they? Can you really see a next level difference?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, a lot of them at different levels. It's like I said, it's pretty insane of what they're doing.
The one you have at your house because you could watch 4 games or 4 things at one time. Was that in the special section, or was that in the commoner section? But it was a high-end commoner.
I go to the place where I got my TV, it didn't have a separation. It was just one overall. Like, I think it's the Best Buy that has the special section that you go to. Yeah.
And didn't you say you were kind of in the market of maybe getting a newer, better, grander TV?
Yeah, we might. That's the one thing where I was like, I love the TVs. I love sports bars for that reason. And so, yeah, that's the only splurge that the Ralstons really do is the TV setup.
Well, the one you have now is badass. I can't imagine it getting better than that.
Yeah, it's nice. No, that's the thing about TVs. And it's amazingly about the only product where the prices are coming down a bit. They're getting better and the prices are getting better. And so that's honestly the only hesitation I have is as soon as you buy a TV and you put it on your wall, then the thing is already outdated.
Oh, this one's 97 inches. And then as soon as you buy it, we have a 101-inch television available. Yeah, it can go onto your ceiling.
Yeah, they do. It's pretty crazy.
I just saw they dropped the 100-inch television. Yes.
Yeah.
Bird's got a giant television, but yeah, I just saw the 100. They sell it at the store now. It's now consumer level.
So mine's 86 or 87 inches. That's another 13. That's a lot more screen, man.
It is, yeah. That is. Yeah,
it wasn't even too bad. I saw it. I think it was like $1,300.
Well, that's, and they're playing to that. That's why they're releasing a lot of movies direct to your house and a lot faster because people have, in a sense, a small movie theater in their house and it's becoming more affordable. That's just how we live. Well, you do have some cool sporting stuff going to be going on in South Florida this weekend. One thing I would recommend is if you love football or you got kids that like sports, you might want to take them to the Dolphins practice at Hard Rock Stadium tomorrow morning. It's going to be going down, and I think that'd be a good time out there. I've been to this before, and I enjoy seeing it at the stadium more because there's better shade, better concessions options. It looks like about 10:15, I think, somewhere around there is when it gets going.
Well, it sounds like you have more access to the players, too.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit more loose for them. I don't know that it's like you necessarily get autographs and all that stuff where you might over at Baptist Health, they'll kind of come to maybe the railings a bit. So you won't see that. But like I said, it's just a little bit more comfortable to be there. The Marlins are going to be at home this weekend. I said earlier the wrong L.A. team. It's the Angels. I forgot they're now
Anaheim.
But now they're called Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Wow, geez.
They keep
Stop
changing
Angels.
Yeah, so it's Los Angeles Angels now. So I just saw the LA part, and I'm like, oh, it's got to be the Dodgers. No, it's the Angels.
They were the California Angels. Get it together. Get it together, guys.
It's just
come on.
So that threw me off. So yeah, sorry. I reported. Thankfully, it's the Angels who have a more manageable win-loss record. They've only won 44, lost 71. Much better than the Dodgers.
And you had a mediocre sports show.
I did. Thank God. I can only just mess up my sports knowledge here now. Then you've also got Inter Miami. They've got an 8-game win streak going on. They're going to put up against Monterrey at New Stadium in Miami on Saturday night. So that'll be some fun stuff to check out.
Nice.
For the kids on Sunday, they're doing a Jurassic Quest at the South Florida Fairgrounds. Usually makes its run around here. And then you've also got a lot of cool stuff that's going to be going on today, from a Battle of the Bands at Meisner Park in Boca to a food truck expo in Royal Palm to a First Friday Art Walk in Delray Beach, and then they're doing a back-to-school party in the park at the Wellington Amphitheater. So a couple cool things to check out this weekend. If you want the full list, go to kvjshow.com.
Back-to-school party. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do some math homework.
It sounds, I mean, it is kind of, you think, like, well, we're kind of partying, but at the same time, it's like this is the last hurrah. This is it for summer. So you kind of be having fun, but at the same time, in the back of your head, it's like you got the Sunday scaries going on. You know it's over.
It's sort of, it kind of depresses me.
Yay, kids, back to school party. Okay, what do you think women would dislike the most if they became a man? Fellas, you can speak to this. The things you say, okay, this is the downside of being a dude. So, ladies, you can't relate because you're not us. But if you were, you would not enjoy getting hit in the nuts.
Yeah, or just having nards in the middle of August. It's not a fun ride, y'all. Ladies, you don't want testicles in the middle of August.
It is a challenge.
It's not fun.
Mm-hmm. To me, what happens with your hair is a terrible thing, because a lot of times you lose it in places you want it and you gain it in places you don't.
I tell everybody that I know that's not quite 40 yet, but they're approaching 40, that's a dude. I go, dog, when you get in your 40s, be prepared that you're going to just start having odd hairs showing up in odd spots of your body. It won't be there the night before.
Yeah.
It grows at nighttime. You just got to be diligent, my man.
Yep. That's true.
You gotta do a head to toe check
you really
of your body.
Yes, you do. A couple other ones that people were talking about here and texting in. How little men share about one another. They said that might be emotionally the most interesting dynamic. And I have kind of seen that before, because a lot of times guys don't really share. And I had read this book. There was a guy that he coached the men's and women's soccer team at North Carolina, and he coached the men differently. They would get right to it and start practicing, but he knew with the women's team, he had better success if for the first 10 minutes they talked about their feelings, they braided hair, they did all that kind of stuff. He just said that they needed that moment to connect and get into this feeling of symmetry before they did practice, whereas guys, they just compartmentalize and don't share these kind of feelings.
I played on so many different teams with so many different coaches. Now, some of these coaches were hard asses, and they did it just like you're talking about. Got right to brass tacks, right to practice. There were other coaches that would go around and ask you how your day was.
Okay.
They would get a vibe. They'd get a relationship going. And I can tell you this much, the coaches that did that, I would have gone through a wall for them.
Right.
They developed a relationship because you're fighting a war together.
Yep.
No one wants to go through a wall for a blowhard who's always yelling at you. No, you develop a relationship to a point where you go, that person's got my back and I've got their back, and I'll go through a wall. At least for me, that's how I would always respond better to a coach who is personable and that acted like they cared and did talk to you like a person. If not, it gets too cold.
Yeah.
Then it's just a game. And it's more than just a game.
And I think a lot of guys are that way. They just are not comfortable expressing their feelings, and so they don't really ever share them or say anything about it.
I have known so many guys that could beat the crap out of pretty much anybody, but they're emotional dudes and they cry sometimes. And I think sometimes if you're a dude and you show that you you cry, it's deemed as a weakness. And I don't believe that. I've seen some of the toughest, badass men cry and weep because they're emotional people, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just don't want it to get in the way of everything.
Now, one person said what women would hate most if they became a man is not getting compliments like they do being a woman. Now, I can't speak to that because never been a woman, so I don't know if just women are always getting compliments and that's part of what keeps your self-esteem going.
Not every woman gets compliments. Not every person gets compliments.
Okay.
I think that's a human thing. I think that there are people that go through the world that don't get a pat in the back or don't get, hey, you look nice today. That happens with everybody, guy or girl.
Yeah, I never heard that. I'm just curious. Is that kind of a thing that people know? Do women get more compliments on average than men do?
They get catcalled more, that's for sure. But I've seen women catcall men before too. So
okay. Now, one person had mentioned that they wouldn't get as many compliments and that might shake them. So my question, because I don't know, never been a woman, do women get more compliments on average than men do?
I can tell you this much. They probably don't get as many as they used to because a lot of men are afraid to compliment women now. They really are.
You think it's decreased from where it used to be?
I know it's a decrease from what it used to be. There are men that are afraid to say a woman looks pretty or give any type of compliment because they're afraid that they're going to, oh, you're a pig, you're being a sexist, sexual harassment. That is a real thing that people don't really talk about, but not every man is evil, and sometimes someone just wants to give a compliment to somebody.
That is on the list,
and that does go, good men are afraid to give compliments now sometimes.
Right. The concern older guys have of not coming off creepy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now there's going to always be creepy guys out there that don't get it right.
Sometimes it's deserved, but then other times it's not. And then guys observe when somebody really gets lambasted and said, wow, that's something I might have said. I didn't think that was creepy, but apparently the rest of the world does.
There was a point where things were going in the right direction. We wanted piggy men to stop acting piggy, but then all of a sudden it turned into this weird thing where you're never allowed to compliment somebody. You're not allowed to walk on the same side of the road as a woman. Pick the bear because the man's going to always kill you with an axe. All these things that separate, that don't bring people together start happening, and it turns into hell in a handbasket.
Stephanie said, I had a guy tell me that he liked my hairdo, and it actually made my day because no one else said anything. But if he would have done that and somebody would be like, well, that's kind of creepy, and then calls you out and there's 3 or 4 other younger girls that are standing around like going, and you kind of get that, that would be the last time you ever compliment anybody.
Well, of course, you're afraid to say something nice because you're afraid people are going to call you a pervert when you were just trying to be cool. Now, there are perverts out there that are going to compliment you on your hair, but not everyone's a bad person.
There's a way to say something nice without being creepy or trying to make it sound like you're trying to get in their pants.
I don't know. I grew up in a world where when you complimented somebody and it was genuine and sincere, that was a good thing.
Mom Guilt said, for me, the bigger question is, why do some men only compliment women? Why not say something nice to other men, too?
They do.
Not necessarily about appearance, but maybe acknowledging a job well done.
But I would argue that's a false statement because that's a blanket statement. That means you would have to have gone across the entire planet and listen to every man not give a compliment to another man. And I know for a fact, I've heard it, I've seen it, I've done it. I've complimented other men. It happens. It's it's a false statement.
Well, 87% of people believe that women do get more compliments on average than men do, according to KVJ TV.
I think that's true.
Yeah. Now, another thing came up, what would a woman dislike if they became a man? Somebody said the sexual pressure that is on guys is so much greater than it is on women to perform in the bedroom because you got to be ready, but you can't arrive too early. And it seems like it's easier for a woman to get herself ready if she needs to than it is for a guy.
That's why you got to get comfortable and communicate. And y'all got to get honest about what you like in the bedroom and what gets you going. If not, so many people are afraid to communicate what they like. And if you don't communicate, it's going to a restaurant and ordering something you don't want. You pick it. No, you got to tell people what you're into, what feels good, what doesn't. Communication, but sometimes people just don't know how to do that. They're embarrassed. Don't you think that's part of the problem?
Yeah, there definitely needs to be more communication, but then there are just times too. I mean, good heavens, man. You go on YouTube or just anywhere, there's so many commercials for Hims or whatever these pills are that they're selling to you like crazy, just showing you that there are a lot of guys that have performance issues or they're concerned about their performance.
Yeah, but all that stuff helps you. I mean, we should be thankful if your peen's not working. They've got medicine to make that thing work like the Terminator.
Yeah.
That should be a happy thing for you.
And I think the reason why they sell is they do know there's pressure on a man to perform. And that's why they take advantage of that and say, hey, we know that there's a lot of concern about this because this is one of those things where a true man is great in the bedroom and doesn't have any performance issues.
I think a lot of ladies would not really, if they loved a guy or was really into a guy and the sex was great and they found out he had to take a blue pill to make it happen, I don't think majority of women would really care and be like, oh my gosh, he's got to take a Viagra. If you cared about somebody.
When your comment too said that if he's great in bed, and that's the biggest thing is guys are like, okay, how do I even get to that point first? Maybe I'm not, and I'm concerned that I'm not.
But there's guys that don't need Viagra who are terrible in bed.
Sure, exactly.
It's really not about, as long as as long as you can get that thing working, it's more of your strategy and your mind frame and how you're going to do it.
Well, I asked, is there more pressure on a man to perform sexually in the bedroom than a woman? And 76% of people said yes, they agree.
There's pressure.
So we talked about the ladies and what they would hate most about being a man, but what about the men? What would they dislike most if they became a woman? Now, they broke it down to these 10 things in order. Number 1, menstruation. Dudes would hate to deal with that. 2, pregnancy and childbirth.
I feel like the first 3 months of pregnancy, I would crush it. The back 9 or the back 3 would be real rough.
Number 3, feeling physically more vulnerable, being smaller, less physical.
For sure.
Number 4, sexual harassment and unwanted attention, like catcalling and things like that from gross dudes.
Absolutely.
5, beauty expectations, like pressures to wear makeup and style your hair and do all these kind of things, like shaving them armpits.
It is not fair because a guy can get crow's feet and a gray beard and like, oh, you look distinguished. And then if it's a woman, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you?
Right.
It's so not cool. It really isn't fair.
Number 6, the clothing limitations, where you are having a hard time finding something that is both fashionable and comfortable. I do notice that in women's shoes. It is amazing the torture they go through to wear what's a stylish shoe. And I talk to my wife and daughter about, like, and they always complain about their feet and like, you know what, being stylish, it's not comfortable. I was like, all right, it's your choice. But that's what they feel like they got to do. The hormonal changes are in the top 10 as well. And some of the double standards, too, like facing different expectations for behavior, sexuality, assertiveness. So those are some of the things that the dudes would not enjoy. Oh, we got some nice little wins for the week. I always love to hear your Feel Good Fridays to wrap it up here on the KVJ Show with a little positivity. And Megan sent an email and she said, we want to thank KVJ for the best summer camp in South Florida, Camp KVJ. My son Dean is a huge Marvel fan. We're going to be cashing in his winnings on Camp KVJ and heading to Universal. Dean says Bigfoot is real. Yeah. Very nice. Congratulations. Also, a little Feel Good Friday. Somebody who spent the last 2 days in Cocoa Beach with their son, his best friend, and his mom for back-to-school shopping at Ron John Surf Shop. Had a beautiful, peaceful couple of days. Much needed little birthday and a back-to-school trip. That's going to be happening. You realize on Monday, baby, kids are back in school, bro. Wild, isn't it? And it's a cool little story of a 23-year-old Dallas D'Souza who's heading to Yale this fall after his Wendy's bosses helped fund his education. They were setting aside money for every hour he worked and putting it towards his tuition. He got straight A's, became student body president, and he plans to study political science. And they said, you know what? He's like, sometimes all it takes is just one person who believes in you.
That's true.
And ain't that the truth? You know, and if it's not somebody believing in you, believe in somebody else, baby.
Sometimes it just takes one comment from somebody.
Yep, absolutely. That's it. So there you go. A little positivity. Thanks for sharing. We got more KVJ. It's going to be coming up on the After the Show. You can watch it live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch, or get it on demand. YouTube and Spotify. It's going to be there for you, but Before we get to that, Bird, if you would, wrap us up with your thought for the day.
Talked a lot about the differences between men and women.
Yes, we did.
Men need women, women need men, and all of us need someone. Independence is strength, but connection is survival.
Ooh, yes.
Very good.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.